Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the Pinnacle Cup. We have got a hell of a match ahead, in which mouz NXT are going to be taking on the Copenhagen Flames. It's our first round of playoffs, at least first round for me and Josh as well. Now, mouz NXT, they appear to be of sort of our team, aren't they, Josh? You know, you have caster duos who just talk about a team all the time. They just, by
Yeah.
luck of the draw, always end up with a team. For us, it's mouz NXT, and frankly, I'm pretty happy with that, because they're a pretty good team, aren't they? We've seen
Yeah.
some insane stuff from them, and well, for Copenhagen Flames, this is truly going to be a test of their skill and kind of willpower here. Of course, I'm Castle Crabber 3. I'm joined by the wonderful M&J with a very sharp haircut there, Josh. How are you feeling about this one?
I've had this haircut for a little while now, Crummer. Surely we've seen it on
Yeah.
camera, no?
No, this is the first time.
Wow, all right. And I haven't done anything funky with it either. I just got out the shower and went like that. But there you go. Yeah, I feel like a little mouz NXT fanboy. We've covered every single game so far for them in the Pinnacle Cup, except for the Entropic match. And that's not because we've done all the Pinnacle Cup games, as you say. It's just kind of in the luck of the draw. It seems like every match that we've done has been a mouz NXT one. And actually jumping back a few months, we did this with Sinners as well. Do you remember when Sinners were like up and comers? And we just covered Sinners for like 6 months, just nothing else. And now it feels like we haven't seen Sinners in forever, and it's a real shame. But anyway, on to the new. Shui, Shane, Torzy, JDC, and Surgeon. Feels like we've talked through this roster so many times. Coach Cyclone as well. I believe he had a stint back on Tricked in the day. Really, really experienced coach. Really, really solid guy. And obviously, we always talk about this roster. They're young guns. You've got Shui and Shane, the young talents over from Isacco boards. You've got Shui in that young IGLing role, which I think really adds a lot to this roster. Torzy on that AWP has been insane throughout this entire tournament. I'd say definitely the MVP here for mouz. I think if mouz actually make it further in the tournament as well, he could definitely be like a tournament MVP. He's been insane. Definitely be expecting him to drop big numbers today. JDC as well, super consistent player. And Zerjan, who's been putting up the big numbers as well, actually. He's been quite... I hadn't really seen too much of Zerjan before this roster, and it's been quite a pleasant surprise.
Yeah, you said it perfectly. Zertian, he's really been a newcomer. JDC as well. He too has kind of been, I would say, lurking in FPL, but frankly, he's been ruining every single member he's really that sort of lurking member. He fills the role that Ships fills quite a lot over on Fiend. And for Zertian, I actually just love how a lot of the time, while he may not have the most kills, he usually has the highest impact from the whole team. It's really kind of weird dynamic to see that Torzy isn't the one who kind of boasts the most round solo wins, where instead it's Zertian. Of course, we move on to their opponents, though, of Copenhagen Flames, and well, aside to that, they have been grinding at the moment, Josh. We have seen them in so many tournaments. These guys, they have a wealth of experience and a plethora of talents to show that, of course, with Roy, Siphon, Hooksy, Jabby, and Nikodos, of course, with Vorborg, their coach. And honestly, the man to watch out for is that AWPer of Nikodos. I really am looking forward to seeing this clash between Torzy and Nikodos. Both of them are so strong, and it's going to be a really interesting game.
Yeah, I think Nikodos is such a good AWPer. I always put him on this pedestal because I think he's just fantastic. The last match that we actually covered between mouz NXT and Lingby Vikings, we were talking about that battle of the AWPs between Christo and Torzy. That was an interesting one. Now Nikodos, I think it's exciting. You say that these guys have been grinding. They absolutely have been. And I think that's what you do when you're trying to iron out a new roster. You know, they've got a few new players in. Manx has gone elsewhere. Asilian's gone elsewhere. They've had to bring in some new talent. Zyphon, the man that I'm always talking about, because I think he could definitely be on the world stages in a couple of years' time. He's young. He's very, very talented. And he's really proved himself since coming into this roster. Roy, a player that we're very familiar with, but not necessarily under the Copenhagen Flames banner. And Hooksy as well, kind of the recent additions to this roster. And I think all of these games, if you normally make roster changes, it can take months to iron out the issues. But if you make roster changes and then you throw yourself into loads of tournaments, you play tons and tons of games, you iron out those issues in a shorter space of time, and it gets them ready for majors and things like that are coming up. Now, taking a look at this veto, Mirage, Vertigo, and a third and final decider of Ancient, which is quite exciting if it comes to it.
I worry for mouz actually in this veto. Well, don't get me wrong, Mirage, perfect opening for them. They're probably going to win Mirage. mouz, Copenhagen Flames, they've struggled with it pretty badly in the past. They have had trouble just finishing games. While they've been getting rounds, just closing out Mirage is just a problem for them. For mouz, it's proven to be one of their best maps. The only time they've lost it is to Fiend, who, to Skade, not Fiend. And in that, Skade are an insane team when it comes to Mirage. We look over to Vertigo and Ancient, though. These are kind of head and shoulders the Flames' map. Like, we've got Vertigo, a map which they've just been playing constantly. They've had a massive success on it. And for Ancient, even though it's still in kind of the formulation phase of a new map being thrown into the pool, the Flames have had a massive amount of success on it. And honestly, I really don't see mouz taking this in. If they don't take it in 2, I think they lose Ancient. For the Flames, I think if they win it, it'll be a 2-1.
Now, here's the thing. This is the way I'm interpreting this, right? Mirage definitely favoring mouz NXT. They've done really well to be able to jam that one into the pool there. When it comes to Vertigo and Ancient, I wouldn't necessarily say that it massively leans towards Copenhagen Flames. I'd say it's just a big question mark for mouz, yeah? Because these guys are such a new roster, they've only played each one of those maps once. But you've got to remember, they beat Entropic on Ancient 16-9 only a couple of weeks ago. So they're clearly good at it, but we haven't seen enough of it to fill us with confidence. Now, as we get underway with Mirage, we see those Pinnacle odds popping up. They are favoring mouz NXT here from the get-go. And I'm not too surprised by that. Underway with the pistol, heavy util on this T side.
Yeah, preparing for an initial engagement, Jabby. They go for the trifecta setup of Copenhagen Flames. They're quiet as they move into it, so mouz may have a bit of a slaughter and a bit of a battle for the safe site. As the swings go down, Flash is the point of contact. Jabby, I believe, will be the swing on 3 before he 2 falls, and by process of elimination, having the first 2 members, Torzy, he knows that there's going to be a player under. He falls, leaves Roy, the man to try and prevent the cross. Unfortunately, the smoke makes that very hard, and as a bomb will get planted, Huxi and CT, well, good for one, is traded by Shane, leaving Roy in the 1v2. Swings out to the other side of the smoke, is good for the first member, sits by triple, only to meet his end from behind. Torzy delivers, and mouz, they make it 1.
That's a big round from everybody there. Torzy steps up, couple of nice kills. The entry onto the site, taking that man under Bauk, was a really, really solid one. If he doesn't find that, then there's complications. But I think we get to see it again. Yeah, you just see how quick this is. Beautiful couple of shots from Jabby, but it's instantly traded. As we get underway with round number 2, of course, Copenhagen Flames, they go for the force buy here. There's no doubt about that one. We see these Deagles, we see that Scout come out. But for mouz NXT, an interesting one. Not opting for any SMGs, not taking any chances. They're lacking on the utility, but they've got all the rifles and all the firepower. And Torzy delivers it to the table. Beautiful headshot onto Zyphon early. Dink down, Nikodos has to fall away. That Galil can't quite finish him off, but it does the early damage. And with the 30 seconds already expended on this clock, mouz NXT have taken lots of control, applied lots of pressure, and they're in a good position here to steamroll this round.
You need to remember, it is the force buy. So for Copenhagen Flames, they need this round to be clean. Or mouz need to be clean. Copenhagen Flames need to be as scrappy as possible. They need to be able to kill maybe 1-2 players if they're lucky. And if they can save their weapons better still, you see by the rifle by mouz, they haven't really given themselves room to play bonus. And bringing the being able to bring out the Galils, it definitely helps. But it's not much to work with. And as mouz just assault the safe site, unfortunately, the only man who can defend it is Jabby, and he's over in Connector.
Yeah, really not in a position to defend this one at all. Shui should be caught out by Short here. That's a bit of nasty timing from him. But either way, the wall of smoke goes up. They're able to get that bomb down. And with that jungle smoke in place, the guy in Connector can't really do a whole lot. Jabby just spamming away. Has to fall off of this one. And I quite like this, bearing in mind they're going to be on a full eco, or at least they otherwise would have been on a full eco in the next, to say, right, let's carry across this Scout and the Galil. Roy's got his Deagle with a bit of Kevlar and a helmet behind it too, so we could definitely do some damage next round. I like that.
It's a very disciplined way of playing, isn't it? And as they back off, we'll have to see what mouz can do when they... I mean, they have to reinvest into Shui, and while it doesn't have, it hits them economically a little bit. I mean, 4 players alive means that next round, while they don't get to play bonus because of the saving members, they weren't aiming for bonus anyway. They were just looking to take each round as it comes, and it's quite a rough way of playing, but it seems to work for mouz NXT. Look at the Oswald partners at Pinnacle, and about 1.6 to 2.2 looks about right. I'd have rated it about the same.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, you use the term rough way of playing. I get it. I get where you're coming from, but at the same time, the way I look at it is they're playing it to just win the rounds. Yeah, they don't care about the economy at the moment. They're not going to be taking any risks. They know how important it is not only to win Mirage, but to actually get off to a good start here on Mirage. And if that means pulling out the rifles, not playing the economy game at all, and just doing this, then that's what they need to do. And the economy and everything else just comes with it. It's kind of part of the package. When you win 3 rounds in a row and you don't take too many casualties, that's when the money starts building. We already see these players post-buy on 3.5K. Going into the next round, that's going to jump up to 6 or 7. So these guys are in a very strong position right now. A lightning fast headshot from Torzy makes sure that he doesn't fall. And as it all comes down to Roy, damage is what he's looking for here, and damage he might be able to do. Oh, that is a big whiff. Oh,
I mean, he recovers it.
It's the hard one. All right.
I think that still the fact he was unable to get the first means that the rotation's there by Shane. He'll be taken down. mouz go 3-0 up, but this is really where it's tested. This is really where we see the strength of the Copenhagen Flames CT side. So go for their full buy. Of course, the trusty banner appears on your screen. Remember, when speed is the name of the game, don't let your playing experience be disrupted by slow payments. You can use Trusty to make payments so quickly from account to account with no cards, app download, or registration. This is where it ties in, Josh. You can try making payments at Trusty at pinnacle.com/odds. You'll find the latest in-play offerings for mouz versus Copenhagen Flames. So remember that sports should be fun, so only play with what you can afford, and to keep safe, our full terms and conditions will apply. And for Jabby, he's applying a bit of pressure on ramp. Good for 1, JDC. Oh, that's perfect by JDC. 2 trades assisted by the flash desertion means that mouz, they go a man up as they then assault this A site.
Another really solid take, and remember, he did have a couple of contingencies in play here. Torzy, he got that AWP out straight away, though, and I thought that was going to be a free B kill for him. Somehow it misses. I think he might have taken a step back just as he pulled the trigger there, which made it a little inaccurate, but either way, site's theirs, and it should be theirs to hold on to, unless Roy has something to say about it. 3 on the trot. Nikados through the smoke finds Torzy, and what one hell of a retake that was. Roy, he's the man of the hour right there. That's incredible.
What a recovery. And for Copenhagen Flames, they've passed around to win. My worry, though, is how repeatable is that? You know, we've seen before the rhythm that they're able to establish, but if they're able to do so now, it'll be off the back of Roy with an insane opening there, Josh.
Yeah, pretty incredible stuff. I mean, he shouldn't have been able to find that first. I think realistically, he's really got away with murder, finding that first kill. The fact that he's then found another 2 on top of it is just insane. Really rubs salt into the wound there. It's going to give them some extra money to work with. See that big check behind Hooksy there as well. Look at that.
That's kind of cool.
2,500. Is that crowns? I think that's crowns. Crone. That's it. I don't know how much that is.
It's not much. It's about 1k in pounds.
Okay.
It kind of hovers around that mark. It's pretty cool though. It's pretty cool.
I like big checks.
Yeah, I like big checks. It's a shame we don't get to see them as customers. Nikados. That's a nice opening though. Like that. Shui's taken down, and as it falls into a 5-on-4, let's see if Shane can follow it up with Torzy in Palace. Scoped here. Nikados in danger of being timinged here. Instead, mouz going to run down the clock once again here.
A brilliant opening pick from Copenhagen Flames. Definitely gives them the advantage in this round. Jabby needs to make sure that he does the damage, though, and Shane, how does he get away with that? Flying out of Palace, finding the man in CT, then dropping down and taking the under balcony player? That is unbelievable. Jabby was rubbing his hands together, knowing that he was in for a treat there, because he had a crossfire in place, and somehow it's been completely eliminated. Hooksy millimeters away from the spams through the smoke, but with a man advantage, the C4 down, and Torzy on this CT angle. We saw him whiff a routine shot earlier, but I don't think it will happen again here. And what an unbelievable round. Copenhagen Flames, they had the man advantage. This was their round for the taking. And in a split second, a single individual hero play from Shane flips it on its head. Oh,
Shane, that's an insane shot there. And Shane, he went on a tear this round, a 3k for him. And here's the thing, when you have this much firepower in a team, you don't know who's going to deliver. You know, is it JDC? Is it Zershan on a lurk? Is it Shane? Is it Torsey? It certainly isn't JDC that round. I believe the term there is accuracy via quantity of fire. And if he shoots 30 bullets at them, one of them will hit. As we see mouz now go 4-1 up. Of course, as the odds for our partners, the Pinnacle, adjust ever so slightly, inching towards mouz. Further still.
Yeah, I think definitely bouncing back in that round will do so. Had they have lost it, we would have seen this economy tie-up. We probably would have seen the scoreline tie-up, and then it becomes a bit of an even playing field once again. But the fact they're able to win it means that they're now winning the money game as well. They've got a 3-round lead, which is that nice little cushion for them to fall back on. Copenhagen Flames, they can't justify forcing around this save door. We see a couple of deagles come out. That's at best.
Tell you what, we've caught up with the delay, and we'll share it in a moment because Nikados, he is going huge here, Josh. However, he backs off. That's interesting. JDC, he's the first to fall, though. When as the flank comes, it's instantly killed. Zershan ready for it from Roy, and like that, it goes into a 4-on-3. What we were going to say is the delay's caught up, and it's about 320 to 330 euros. So we are massively off into what the value
not a lot of money
is. I do apologise. It was a ballpark estimate. I realised that we can't be wrong here, Josh. It's not allowed. So
I think we can be when we're dealing with currencies for countries that I've not been to.
That also don't apply to us.
Yeah, they just don't apply to us at all in daily life. I can do it with euros, I can do it with dollars, and all of the currencies that kind of apply to us in our life. But I've never had to convert Danish krones or whatever it is.
Nikados, he's converted a kill though. That's pretty cool. As it falls into the 3-on-3, they see Jabby. Jabby, the fact he gets out of there is a miracle, and that the window player is able to get the kill. Do we see Zyphon pursue it? No, we don't. Instead, Torsey shots down Nikados, winning the AWP duel there, meaning the bomb plant should go down here by Zershan. Jabby hides on triple. Oh, that's a nice shot. Zershan does trade, leaving Zyphon in the 1v2. The eagle in hand, ready to come through jungle. Torsey needs to be a bit careful here. Missed shot, wow. And Zyphon. That is messy by him as he's punished for it, and mouz go 5-1 up.
I don't know if this is nerves. I don't know if it's because it's early in the morning. I mean, it's not really early in the morning, but I suppose it's like a morning game as they come. But we're seeing a lot of players get a little bit hasty in some of these scenarios. We saw it from JDC earlier. Zyphon didn't need to pull the trigger there. He could have kind of maintained a little bit of composure, taken another second there to adjust, and then fired off that shot, and that would have been his kill for the taking. Now, either way, I think that's a substantial amount of damage dealt, considering the investment that they had, but it could have been more. And there's a very slim chance that it could have even been a round win. Nikados, interesting angle from him in connector. He needs to be very careful, though, as he goes for this wide swing into underpass. He's now very exposed, very vulnerable. Oh, he's lucky to be alive. He's just managed to dodge that shot from Torsey.
Oh, another missed shot by Nikados there, and it feels like it was just a fadeaway, kind of half-assed to crack. Maybe get man advantage. He didn't know, but instead, as he almost considers speaking to window, this duel between Torsey and Nikados has been insane. And even though Torsey's got more kills kind of outside of this sort of duel, they're about even at the moment. And for Nikados, to go for the timing through the smoke, that flash goes off, no kill yet, as the members of Copenhagen Flames are really trying to get this man advantage, but in the process, they're burning a lot of their utility.
Yeah, they are. It's going to leave them with very little to work with when it actually comes to that execution. Nikados holding short, waiting for someone to cross. Little does he know that Shui's already found his way through onto the site with the first. Spots the second man in the apartment. Can't connect the head, but he's still alive and kicking. Double dips for more. Can't quite take him. And Hooksy now in a very, very tough spot. He's tagged down low. He can't connect the shot. It's Zershan to finish him. And as Shane finds a head onto Zyphon elsewhere, he comes into the 4-on-2. Now, they're going for this retake. The C4's not been planted yet, but with 10 seconds to spare, once those digits are tapped in, I can't imagine that Nikados and Jabby want any more to do with this. So they're going to fall away, but you're right. This flank, it's already in place. It should be able to catch them out. It's a little bit late, though. Shane needs to be aware that they could be behind him on the site.
I mean, he has, and as he rotates back, Jabby will be the first man to fight. He's already on a close angle, and I doubt they expect him to be this close this quickly, but Jabby, that crosshair placement looks pretty ambitious with this. He swings out, sees both members. As Shane swing into him, he gets the kill. It's a nice start for him. A nade will land right by Xerxian there, but it won't deter him with his resolve. Instead, he's just going to hope for some new timings. There's Hardclear's triple. He makes some noise as he swings into them. As he does so, Jabby, clean kill for him means that for Copenhagen Flames, they take a fair few casualties there, but they still save the orb, they still save the rifle. And with mouz going 6-1 up, it's starting to spiral out of control for them.
Well, to be honest, it's a solid couple of kills there from Jabby. He's done a good job at staying alive there. That's what you're looking for when you save. You go for a save, the last thing you want is to then be taken out from the hunt, because then the whole point of it is gone. You haven't got a chance at winning the round, you haven't got a chance at saving your weapon, but he's done well there to drag a couple of kills down with him. Early pick into the apartments. Torzy's just so quick. I don't know how he's there and how he's ready for that. They've even gone for the fast boost to give Nikodos that advantage, and it's still not been enough. Brilliant shot from Roy to trade it back. So we go into the 4-on-4, but JDC on the hybrid angle takes another head down with him, and that's the B site open for business and surely closed for the retake.
Here's the thing. This is when mouz look inconsistent. They've been whiffing quite a bit in the sense that we saw, messy sprays from JDC. We saw a kind of rough round where they'll push jungle one by one. They go 7-1 up. Imagine if they end up firing on all cylinders. Imagine if everyone starts taking their shots. I mean, that was just like a flash of the talent JDC has. What happens if all of them wake up? And honestly, Josh, I think that mouz, I would argue that they're the best academy team touch the scene since Gambit youngsters at the moment. I really like it this side.
Yeah, I agree with that as well, to be honest. These guys have looked fantastic. You asked that question about what happens when everybody shows up. That's a question that any Copenhagen Flames fan does not want the answer to. These guys have been fantastic. Yep. I actually really like, I'm going to touch upon it now because it was just pretty cool in my eyes. The way that JDC plays that round, you see the org on Roy. Actually, I think it might have been Hoopty, but either way, holding the left-hand side, expecting him to swing and saying, right, if he jumps out the window, then that's my kill anyway, so I'll see him falling in midair. But you just see JDC take advantage of the fact that if you stand on a window ledge, you can kind of float, yeah? You can peek out wide, you can have one foot balancing on it, you can use your core strength and keep yourself up. And yeah, you get to a really, really nice angle that there was just no way that AUG defending was ready for. These Deagles are doing a hell of a lot of damage. They have got a man advantage, but I can't imagine it holds for much longer. The JDC finds one more, and this C4 is beeping away. There's no kit for the retake, so they need to speed this up, and Jabby's able to do so. It all falls onto Shane's shoulders. He doubles down. Zyphon just about gets on the bomb. I don't think he's got time, Kramer.
I don't think he does either, but he seems to prove us wrong, and yeah, I think he does.
No, he doesn't.
No.
4 kills. I mean, it's impressive. It's a lot of damage. It's a lot of damage, but 8-1.
Yeah, an insane performance from mouz so far. And here's the thing. I think that for Copenhagen Flames, you need to remember that mouz are currently on their best side of their best map. So for Copenhagen Flames, if they just if they weather this storm, the reality is Vertigo is going to be a completely different ballgame. And while mouz have played it before, and while they won it in the one time they played it before, you need to remember they've only ever played it once.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's why in the pregame I said that they're question marks, yeah? Because for Ancient and Vertigo, they're rocking 100% win rate if we're going down that route, yeah? They've played them once each. They've won them both times, both against pretty formidable opponents as well. Lyngby Vikings was the win on Vertigo, and then Entropic was the win on Ancient. So if you kind of jump back to the Lyngby game, where we're looking at the statistics, we say, right, Lyngby are actually pretty good at Vertigo, and mouz have never played it before. We thought there was no chance that mouz were going to win it. And the same goes for Ancient when they played against Entropic. It was, these guys have never played this map before. There's no hope in hell that they beat a team like Entropic on it. And I feel like that story could continue. History could certainly repeat itself in that respect. We're just going to have to wait and see. It's kind of just a bit of an unknown. Rifles back out here for the Copenhagen Flames. Remember, they went down to a bit of a half buy in the last. They did tons of damage, but time was not their friend. And a big opening kill from Nikados takes down Torzy, one of the harder hitters here for mouz so far. He's currently on 9 kills as we go into round number 10.
I feel myself tensing every time I know that both these authors are about to duel each other. Like, they have to be lightning fast just to survive. And in this case, we have a follow-up from Roy, the other kind of heavy hitter of Copenhagen Flames here. And as he drops down to window, JDC, he'll hear this, and a bit of a whiffed spray as he can't quite convert it, but looks like he will soon. As it's Cypher to shut down Shane, the bait switch worked perfectly, leaving Xerxes in a 1v5. Now, here's the thing. This would be a way to crown a coin if he won this, but the reality is without the bomb, and with Hooksy from the flank, it's a quick kill. It's 2 for Copenhagen Flames. They double their round counts, and with 5 players left standing, it's looking pretty strong.
That little bait and switch on the A site was awesome. Just draw the attention by shooting into connector. That Palace man says, oh, I've got a free kill on the site. And then as he swings, there's just a man tucked in the corner behind him. No way to anticipate that one. Really, really smart stuff. I think that Nikados so far has actually been doing a really good job. You say you sort of tense every time you see these AWPers about to take a duel. I think Nikados has done a really good job of finding Torzy. When you think about every single round, they're rocking like a 1 AWP on 1 AWP setup. We did see a double AWP setup at one stage for Copenhagen Flames. It only lasted a single round. But every single round, we've either seen Nikados get aggressive into the apartments, take a duel with Torzy, the duel in mid, the duel on A. He seems to be all over the place, and he's always finding a very messy start to the round. But it's one that mouz NXT actually prevail in.
Well, with the aggression of Shui as well, another kill goes their way. It falls into a 4-on-2. Now make that a 3-on-1 as Zuxi shredded by JDC. And, well, for Roy, as he sits cowering in connector, he knows full well where mouz are roughly. He knows there'll be one default. He knows there should be one around jungle. And with a player around CT, the rotation to triple isn't going to be too short. And for Roy, all he has to do is hope that he has the timing with this follow-up as he sits in position. He prays that with these members he can prevail, and as they take the engagement, while he's good for 1, he'll probably be good for 2. Oh, not JDC. John DeCastro, say the name, Josh, because he is proving to be a legend at the moment. Just joining Shane with just this incredible rifle power.
Is that what JDC stands for? That is cool.
Yeah,
that is a cool
John DeCastro.
Name. John
that's a really cool
DeCastro. Name. Sounds like a... I don't know. I don't know what that sounds like, but it sounds cool. It's a cool name.
It's a really cool name. I like him a lot. And as we see mouz move into a really strong position. Let's see if Copenhagen Flames can stop them. We see these fast smokes lined up, but Hooks, he sees them coming. Here's the thing, though. That may be a false positive because they've seen the smokes being thrown. Little do they know it's all a fake. And as Nikados shuts down Xerxes with a lightning fast hit, JDC is able to trade, but only momentarily, leaving Torzy and Shui in a 2-on-4. Make that 2-on-3 as Torzy reveals himself.
On the molly land, just as the smoke blooms, but Torzy having to drop out of it. Leaves him very exposed to CT, and there's not much you can do about it. Shui on the right angle, but Jabby's just quicker to the trigger. 9-3. By no means is this a good half yet from the Copenhagen Flames. They've seriously been struggling, but they do put their foot back down. They put another on the board, and they put themselves in a position where maybe a 9-6 half's a possibility.
I'm interested to see what mouz do from here. With an eco coming up, it's almost weird to see them eco, considering they've only really lost 1 round with a few scattered in between, as mouz with a 9-3 lead. Bear in mind, they could lose the remaining 3, and still be happy with the half. But Copenhagen Flames, they realise that they need at least 1 more for survival. Against Vertigo, it's looking increasingly likely, and as they swing out from mid, the timing is just perfect as Cypher instinct, but not killed. Instead, they just look to swarm him. As he takes a bit of damage, he eventually falls. The molly and util just continues to pepper this position, though, and getting a man up. We'll see if it matters so much as they rotate to short. Roy on the close angle. As he's seen by Shui. No, he's not. There's the kill. There's the AK. JDC, can he retrieve it so far? Oh, yes, he can. That's right. Swings out. Gets the second kill. Gets the bomb as well. And with that, I think for mouz, that should be a quick finish to the round here. Torzy 2 falls. Xerxes rotating back to the head glitch. Should be the nade. It'll be nice. But with still no kill, 50% HP left on Roy. Means that for mouz, they're going to forego this 13. The Copenhagen Flames make it 4.
Leakadors. There we go. Take touch Shane. Jabby finishes things off, and it's a good round from Copenhagen Flames. A good recovery as well after Zyphon kind of whiffs in window there. He's not having a very good game so far, I'll be honest. He, normally warms up a little quicker than this. So far, we've seen a couple of mistakes from him right there. I mean, it's got to be very overwhelming having 5 Glocks charging at you, but he didn't actually find a single kill before falling. Going into this 14th, mouz NXT looking to try and snatch another. Realistically, bearing in mind they were 8-1 up, they're definitely looking for more than a 9-6. They want a 10-5, maybe even an 11-4 half here. The issue is the weaponry they've got to work with isn't the best. We see 3 AKs, 2 Galils, limited utility bomb behind them as well. This is going to be a tough round to win if they want to take it.
Yeah, absolutely right. Bear in mind, though, that if they do take this, both teams really don't have much in the bank. I mean, Copenhagen Flames, I think they can just get an investment next round, but mouz, they are really going to struggle for it. So for this penultimate, it almost counts as double. With the boost into window, though, it seems expected by HooXi, as Nikidos holds the close angle on short. Over in ladder room, there's still no kill yet, and because of that, it's flashed on short, they land way too far in. There's that single member being poised on B. Copenhagen Flames are really gambling this position in A and mids, and well, it's working for them. HooXi, he's read this to a masterful degree. Vertigo, this lurk play will be everything, but with no kill yet, he has to slowly ebb his way into the awaiting CT member, and the same setup used on the pistol round for Copenhagen Flames is going to be where they try and deliver. These flashes, they force him back, but Zyphon is able to draw first blood. Good for Shuey, traded by JDC. Do they expect sandwich flare? No, they don't. Jabby good for another, traded by Torsey. The back and forth means as Nikidos drops down, Zersh's going to be called to action. While he knows they're coming, Roy, he's good for one more. How on earth did Nikidos get that kill? JDC's left in a 1v3. He's finished off, but can we see that from Nikidos? What in the name of God?
My goodness.
How did Zerjan die there?
It's either a massive whiff on Zerjan's part, or it's a crazy shot from Nikidos. I think it might have been a bit of both, to be honest. Roy's actually 6-1 in duels against Shu, which is really interesting given the score.
That is insane, and I think it shows that Roy, he's really been a main anchor man for this B site. It's like every time mouz have hit the B site, they have... I mean, they've got the site, but they've died in the process. So because of that, we see that Roy's doing so well. As Shuey goes for a really fast play on window here. Actually makes so much noise. He gets ready to go through the smoking con into Nikidos, who really isn't expecting it. And kind of rightfully so. This is like a one-man army thing right now. Well, mouz now go out from A towards E. Shifting out. Should see Zyphon under Balkan. Yes, he has. The question is, will he get the kill, though? He swings out. There's the kill. And with that, it's an absolute collapse. The Deagles, they're making it work there. And just like that, Copenhagen Flames, they're going to falter as mouz make it 10.
It's definitely not a round you're expecting them to win. JDC maybe pulling the trigger a little bit early there again, but does manage to find it with the spams. 10-5. After Copenhagen Flames won the 14th, I really did think we'd see a 9-6 half, but yeah, mouz NXT pick it up once again. We take a look at these odds and look at them. They're really, really shifting in mouz NXT's favor. We see that trusty banner popping up as well. We talked about it earlier, but we'll mention it again, folks. When speed is the name of the game, don't let your playing experience be disrupted by slow payments. Choose Trustly to make your payments flow quickly from account to account. With no cards, no app download, and no registration required, they're a really, really simple payment system to use, and one that you should definitely be looking into as an alternative for all of the current ones out there, and definitely looking into if you ever want to deposit onto Pinnacle. As we get underway with this second half, pissed around, quick boost into the apartment allows Shuey to get some super early info, but surely he's dead to rights here, and the flash secures it.
JDC, he needs to try and just survive. Unfortunately, the flank from short means it's an impossible endeavor. For a 3-on-5, we need to see some kills from mouz. We need to see them quickly. Otherwise, Copenhagen Flames are just going to be able to run down the clock. That double smoke setup, and the mouz just saved the armor. It's looking likely here. Yeah, they do. That's for the first time in a while we see a 3-man save on a pistol round. And while I don't disagree with the decision, I think it's quite a disciplined option. But you need to remember that if you fall into the habit of saving when you're at a 5-on-3, you end up allowing your opponents just keep getting rounds, and they will just keep rushing B, for instance.
Yeah. more often than not, if a T side rush the B site, they will end up with some kind of advantage when that C4 is down. And you kind of have to have a little bit of confidence for the retake. But I do agree with you. In this pistol round scenario, there was really no chance they were going to be able to actually win that round. So dropping away, saving that Kevlar, saving that kit's fantastic. Gives them a little bit of extra money to work with. Means that Torzi can actually pull out a scout in this one too. And have the Kevlar behind it. Now, they actually managed to maintain all of their Kevlar too, even when they were hunted at the end and found a couple of kills there. They maintained it. So it means that these helmets can come out too. Shane pulls one out alongside that Desert Eagle. mouz NXT, whilst they lead by 4, we know that this gap could close very, very quickly unless they cause a bit of an upset here in the 17th.
Torzi, missed shot though, as it only tickles Zypher, doesn't quite find its mark, but the scout, it does sort of force Zypher to keep his head down, it forces him into under, which should alert the Flames to the fact that their hand's been forced in mid. With Molly's being deployed in connector, they get a lot of control for this, so while Shui tries to abuse a brief gap in this smoke, unfortunately it won't prevent Hooksy, who's able to quickly deliver a killing blow and administer a mad advantage as it's traded by Shane. Very clean kill onto Jabby. He'll warrant himself an AK in the process, but Zershan panics, he spams, he misses, and that means that the next man to be called for support will be Torzi with that scouts. The flashes, though, make his life a bit harder. Suxi actually needs to be careful about how he rotates here. The rest of the team have just decided to push to B, and once this has been realized by mouz, and a 3-on-3, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they attempt to go for this, at least get an initial pick and then work from that.
Well, as the bomb tapped down, Copenhagen Flames, they're in a very losable situation right now. 3-on-3 retake. There's 2 kits in play for the CT side. They've got Kevlar. They've got a couple of automatic weapons. The time means everything. And whilst the swings come through, Zershan and Torzi actually finish things off. 1 versus 1 now. Torzi, time's against him, but he has got that kit. Taps the bomb, applies the pressure, draws the swing, and he's able to spray down Roy. Gets on the bomb in the nick of time. And mouz NXT caused that round 17 upset that I mentioned. 11 on the board, and now they're back in the driver's seat.
That is an insane performance from mouz there. The fact that they were able to win that is nothing short of a small miracle because they had no armor on one of their members. The other was tanked, and for Torzi, we saw that the statistic between Roy and Shane was wild. Look at this one, 5-0. Torzi now stands against Zypher, and as mouz go 11-6 up, I can kind of understand why. I'd love to see the stat between Torzi and Nikodos.
Yeah, I'd like to see that as well. I feel like that's kind of like the only fair stat, isn't it? Yeah. Or maybe not the only first stat, but the only first stat between Torzi and someone. That's the most impactful one there. Yeah. It's been a bit of a clean-up here going into this 18th. It was actually a force buy from Copenhagen Flames. This wasn't an eco. They did go into the pistols, but they seem to just be mowed down in mid. Now Jabby looking to do some damage with that hero AK. Won't be able to do so. 12-6. And yeah, I mean, you talk about that duel between Zypher. I'm going to mention it again. Zypher just not having one of his best games here. A little bit uncharacteristic for him. Maybe it's nerves, getting into the playoffs. A little more on the line here. See those odds popping up again. Remember, folks, if you do want to place a bet on this game or any other match here in the Pinnacle Cup, then make sure you head over to pinnacle.com/odds or pinnacle.com/welcome if you're a new user. Sign up using code CUP21, and when you bet €10 on esports, you actually get €10. So definitely worth checking out. Full terms and conditions apply, and please only bet what you can afford, folks. As we get into this 19th, mouz NXT looking for their 13th round, and they should comfortably be able to get it. What Copenhagen Flames need to be scared of is this MP9 that's creeping in behind them.
Yeah, the second JDC gets info, he's just going to hide and go for the rotation. Then, well, I mean, there's already one there. Torzi, that was insane headshot, start things off, and we'll just need is good for the second. I'll tell you what, Josh, I don't think there'll be any chance for the MP9 to get the kills. It's all on Hooksy, he 2 fools. JDC, strong round by him, and mouz now go 13-6 up. This is an insane team. I'll tell you that, Josh. And as the trusty banner, sorry, not the Pinnacle banner, the trusty banner appears down in the lower third of your screen. Remember, that when speed is the name of the game, don't let your playing experience be disrupted by slow payments. You can use Trustly to make payments so quickly from account to account. With no cards, app download, or registration, you can try making payments with Trustly at pinnacle.com/odds, where you'll find the latest in-play offerings for mouz NXT versus Copenhagen Flames. So remember that always, the sports should be fun. Only play with what you can afford, and to keep safe for full terms and conditions to apply. And I tell you what, Josh, Copenhagen Flames, they look pretty bummed at the moment.
Well, what they need to focus on right now is not letting it get to them too much, because this is map 1. This is their opponent's pick. If we're expecting them to lose any map, it's definitely this one. We talked in the pregame about the fact that these guys just generally aren't very good at Mirage. We were kind of expecting them to lose this first map, so they can't let it get to them too much. They can't let it stick in their heads and cause them any problems going into the next map. I think what they need to focus on now is just playing their best. If they can pull back some rounds and make this possible, then that's fantastic. If they can't, then that's cool. Take the 10-minute break between the maps to kind of reset, regain that confidence, and go into Vertigo with the confidence to win it, because they can. Round number 20 here, mouz NXT. I feel like if they take this one, it's probably game over. With the early man disadvantage, though, as they're playing bonus, they are in a tough situation.
XC slowly edging up short. So the timing on JDC speak there was insane. And as mouz realize that a B presence is likely, they don't realize that mid B is coming. And for Cypher, that's a laser-like shot on desertion there. JDC, now the really sole defender of this site, as Hooksy is about to sway into him, he misses on the opportunity to get the initial cross on Apps. Instead, now he has to try and respond on to Nikados. Another whiff from him means that he's going to be swarmed from all angles here. And as that bomb goes down, I suspect we'll see another save from mouz NXT. And these are some really good calls coming out from Shui.
Yeah, I think every single save call that's come in, I sometimes when it comes to rounds where they go for the save call, maybe it's just me being a little too ambitious. I'm always like a bit of an over-aggressive player that makes stupid mistakes and whatnot. But sometimes you kind of feel like, oh, that was winnable. Yeah, they definitely could have gone for that clutch. I'm not sure how much I agree with that. When it comes to Shui's save calls today, it's been, bang on for me. I think that every single time they've kind of taken a step away, it's been at the perfect moment where it's like, right, we've still got 3 players alive. We had a crack at it with Zerjan and Torzi. Now there's no chance at winning the round, and I'm going to make sure that my players retreat and they save their weapons before this gets too expensive for us. It's so easy for Shui to not give that call for another 5-10 seconds. JDC takes a fight, he loses his life, and then there's one less rifle going into this next round.
Oh, we see what can be done by these members. There is, as you mentioned, they're running out of time. And at 13, mouz are kind of in that kind of comfort area where they can really deliver onto some of these members. There's JDC moves for the jump in mid, and while it's perfectly timed, unfortunately, as is Nikados' flash, Roy for one, Jabby for the other, as Torzi attempts aggression. Both thoughts in the mouz setup just deleted, and I tell you what, that's going to be a massive economic hit.
On a 2-man advantage once again, Copenhagen Flames. Since finding the rifles on this T side, they've actually kind of come in with some renewed vigor. They're looking brilliant. Another beautiful headshot from Nikados, and they're just not taking any prisoners. They're finding all of these kills. They're just unfazed by any defense that mouz NXT are bringing in, and these couple of rounds have looked much, much better for the Copenhagen Flames.
The follow-up coming. mouz have got no choice but to hide. And here's the thing. Copenhagen Flames, they have experience on their side. And that's starting to show now because they've adapted instantly to the playstyle of... Well, maybe not instantly, but they've adapted in this map to the playstyle of mouz. And it means that these last 3 rounds for mouz, if they can achieve them, are going to be very, very hard to deliver. Because Copenhagen Flames, they've seen how they play. They've realized that the faster players could actually catch out this side. And we saw that in the game against Skate, actually, where... Once mouz are on the back foot, they struggled quite a bit, actually.
Absolutely, yeah. And as you say, it really does come down to just the experience that Copenhagen Flames have got. When things aren't going well, they have this ability to just kind of take a step back. I think it's sort of Nikados that'll be saying, right, what's going wrong here? And I don't even think they called a timeout. I think it's just, let's go for something a little bit quicker. And... catch them off. That's what they've been doing nicely. It's interesting to see Jabby actually on that AWP right now instead of Nikados. I'm not sure where that one's come from and why, but it seems to be working. 13-7 will be made 13-8. Nice kill from Zerjan. We will have enough money in the bank here for mouz NXT to buy up again, I believe. Xerxon. I'm not sure if he'll be able to stay alive here. Ooh. No, he won't. Xiphon takes him out. Nice little two-piece for him. Might make him feel a little bit better going into this next. As now there's only a 5-round gap to close.
The odds for partners of Pinnacle, remember, those are serious odds. They still really favour mouz.
Yeah.
And honestly, I would favour mouz in this series as well, but I wouldn't have said it to be that one-sided, as mouz are now in a position where they have to follow it up with the best they can muster. While the buy is pretty strong, the utility shows the gaps, and a lot of them have brought down to 0, which means that this round is really important from them. They lose this, and the Flames have got their ticket straight back into the game.
Yeah, I mean, mouz NXT were the marginal favourites from the get-go, literally at the start of this game. They were the series favourites. So the fact that they've got a 5-round lead, they're 3 away from the finish line, would definitely mean that the odds are definitely shifting in their favour more. But you and I both know, and as you just mentioned, it's a lot closer than it seems with the economy, with the way that this game works. Copenhagen Flames taking this round would be worth 2, and all of a sudden, a 13-10. Doesn't seem so impossible. Shane pushing through the smoke. A lot of damage taken early. And as he falls with the aggressive peak, now a 2-man advantage. Make that 3. And Copenhagen Flames, they are just rolling over mouz right now.
Torzy, it's a nice shot on to Jabby. And they're still executing this site. But fortunately for Torzy, his team have just died. So it's just the USP as he tries to aggressive to hook. See how the timing does not favour him. He misses his shot. He's punished for it. And Copenhagen Flames, as you mentioned, the momentum is meaning they are seriously doing damage now. And as mouz are sent into a bit of a spiral now, we see them with these USPs. We see them try to cling to something. And unfortunately, they lose this round. Flames are going to be hitting 10. They hit the full spy after. If they lose that, Flames with 11, follow up Eco 12. They've only really got 2 investments in them before Copenhagen Flames equalise.
Yeah, full eco here for the CT side and a stack towards B. For Copenhagen Flames, it's not going to be anything aggressive. It's not going to be anything fast, and I don't think we should be expecting that either. Like, every single one of these past few rounds, they've been going for this default. It's not necessarily a slow default. The last few rounds have been a little bit quicker. They have been trying to take these fights in mid over towards the A ramp and whatnot. This round, it will be a bit slower, knowing that they're up against a low investment. But they're not going to be funneling together and pushing into a stack site. I think as soon as they realize that Shane's by himself here on A, they should be able to capitalize on it.
Get ready for a follow-up.
Ooh.
That's a really, really clean shot from Nikadals. And here's the thing, Nikadals, he just seems to have some consistency to him here. And on paper, I would have rated Torzy higher, but in the server, I would argue Nikadals is actually having a bit more impact. Especially in the second half.
Yeah, to be honest, I think every player's just had more impact in the second half. Bear in mind how we started. Copenhagen Flames didn't seem like they'd woken up, but now we've moved into this T side for them. Yeah, the big guns have been delivering. Nikadals, he's only on 13 kills. He's not going crazy right now, but he is just consistently hitting those key shots that he needs to be. It's Roy that's going above and beyond with 17 frags behind him. You might be able to stat pad and extend that further as they've read their opponents like a book. The stack's on the A site now instead. Roy ready for the cross on Shuey, and as that smoke fades, Shuey's trapped. There's no way out for him here.
I mean, they might be able to hit him with a follow-up, and fortunately, the reality is, at the moment, mouz with a really... I mean, he talks on 1 HP. He gets shut down. This is a really weak half from mouz here, and Copenhagen Flames, they're punishing it massively.
Torzy is going 20-12 right now. He is having a big impact, but he needs to have that impact on the CT side. He needs to have the impact at the start of the round. We've seen a couple of rounds from him where his teammates have all fallen. He's found 1 or 2 nice kills before the end, but there's no chance at actually winning it. We saw that Trusty banner appear real quick just there in the freeze time, remember. Trustly is the place to go for your payments if you're depositing on Pinnacle or anywhere else for that matter. They're a super, super easy system to use with no cards, no app download, no registration required. Yeah, it's just a really brilliant and safe way to transfer money from account to account. Full terms and conditions will apply. And yeah, make sure you check them out if you're depositing money anywhere. 13-10. This is the buyout once again here for mouz NXT. And I don't want to call it a must-win round, but they could really do with it, to be honest.
Yeah, it's not must win yet. We're at the stage though where this is getting too close for comforts, and as mouz kind of duck in cover, Pinnacle Flames with a preparing themselves for another hit onto B, and it appears to be their weak spot at the moment. Zertian, whose T side was really effective, is now kind of shaky a bit on his CT as they get ready for the follow-up. Copenhagen Flames, they prepare their execution. The util hasn't been deployed yet. It's all a bit of a fake. There's JDC for the first. Zyphon taken down. He sees the second man coming, though, as he tries to hold it solo. From behind, it's Zertian to help him with a kill onto Jabby. Not that, well, Zertian's needed there, as JDC does it all on his own. Hooksy on shot. Nope, sees more coming, and as he drops down, he awaits his death for the remaining members, as Hooksy's good for another. Shuey trays. He goes into the 4-on-2. And I tell you what, Josh, I think it's safe to say that Copenhagen Flames have got themselves a bit of a pickle ahead, as they're left in the 3-on-2. Nikodos holding for the short member, and as Roy gets across to bench, there's another 4M, and he might even be able to double down. It's all onto Torsey now, and this round has just spiraled out of control for mouz here. This is looking dire. Roy, he's seen by Torsey. Torsey in the 1v1 with Nikodos, and what a position to be in. They shift out both members, don't hit their markers. Torsey's only legs. They swing out, though. Another missed shot. Torsey trying to work this angle, and Nikodos, he prevails, proving to be the main AWPer here and proving to show that he is the big daddy of this map. As a technical pause comes up, I can only imagine it was a desk smash.
I don't think that proves anything, Kremer. I think that was a mess. Both players close range, using those AWPs like a shotgun. Nikodos ended up finishing it off with a no-scope. I don't think he realized he actually legged Torsey as well. It wasn't even a leg. It was like a body shot through the corner of the box, I think. Got him down to 5 HP. Definitely could have been the pistol play. Roy here, though. Not the usual suspect on the carry in my eyes, but today he is going above and beyond. He's sitting on 22 kills right now. He's leading the charge on the server, and he's having a massive, massive impact in this second half, finding multi-kills left, right, and center. There's another 3k there to tip the scales back in his side's favor. 13-11, yeah, technical pause, Grammar. I assume it's a frustration one as well, probably from Torsey. I'd love to switch to player cams, see what Torsey's doing right now.
Let's see what's happening in Torsey's mind. I imagine it is a desk smash. I'll be surprised if it isn't. And I don't know, mouz with what was a dominant opening to this half of now looks like they're in a fair bit of trouble, actually, as we move into the kind of latter stages of the second half. We've got Copenhagen Flames currently on a 5-round win spree, and there doesn't seem to be an end to it. So while that round was close, JDC tried his best there, and well, maybe it's not Torsey.
Yeah, he seems okay. Okay.
What does technical timeout look like in the face of a player? Is that what a technical timeout looks like on Zertian there? Or is that it from Cyclone? That's Cyclone, isn't it? I think it is. I'm fairly certain it is.
Possibly, yeah, I think so as well. Yeah, I'm not sure then. Well, either way, a round like that's got to be massively frustrating. Even if it's not frustrating enough to beat your desk, it's got to be massively frustrating. A key round for them to be winning. Oh yeah, we are actually seeing a disconnect. So yeah, that's Shane out the server. You can see Shane at the very end there. I think he was sort of fiddling with something. So you can see the Copenhagen Flames boys. They're looking a little bit happier. They're looking confident right now. They're looking like they might actually be able to pull this one back. As I say, a round like that, massively impactful. And for mouz NXT, they recognize the importance of winning Mirage. They know that they kind of really need to win map 1. Otherwise, it's going to be super difficult for them to have a go at this series. Yeah. And that's something that kind of Copenhagen Flames have got that weight off their shoulders. They don't have to play their map pick first. They know that even if they don't win this map, they've still got a decent chance of taking it. Right now, I'm actually really feeling Copenhagen Flames, but we're just going to have to wait and see. Yep. Jabby had a Red Bull cup, which was cool.
They exist?
Yeah, I thought it was a can, but then I realized it was in like the shape of a glass.
That's insane. Production, can we see that again? Oh no, the technical timeout was over. Wow, I wish I could have a Red Bull cup. That'd be pretty cool. Yeah, cool. I wish more though. I wish I could use Trustly. Unfortunately, because we're casters, we can't.
Well, I mean, we can. We can't use it to bet on the games we're casting, but we can use Trustly, can't we?
Yeah, we can use Trustly. I just don't think we can. We don't really have a We can use them on Pinnacle as well, for everything but the Pinnacle Cup.
Well, look at this buy from mouz NXT. I knew it was going to be weak, but I wasn't sure I was expecting this. It's just pistols and a scout from Shui, tagged down early as well. Just narrowly missing that shot. Manages to get away back up connector, but realistically, what can they do here? If they hit a couple more of those, maybe they've got a shot.
It's looking pretty strong for them, to be honest, as we await a follow-up. There's a couple of members in position. As they follow it up. You can see he just sits in Khan, hoping for the timing here. As Torzy sits in position. The smokes go off, the flashes go down as well. There's some shots ring out by Shui. Leaves them at arm's length as Roy is able to deliver onto Torzy. No damage done to him though. Is it for JDC? Nikados is able to kill him. Even the Deagle spam works for Nikados now. This is his game. And while Hooksy on the flank is good for Shane, now we need the AK of Xerxian to deliver. Shui, a scout rings true for the first Xerxian, takes down the second man, goes into the 2-on-2, bombing control of mouz as well. Is that for Xerxian? He is in a very comfortable position. He needs to make sure that Roy doesn't clear him though. As he jumps up, it's messy, but he gets the kill anyway. Did he see the second man? He'll certainly hear him with 10 seconds left now. As Hooksy tries to cover the distance, he gets ready to swing out to balcony. As he does so, he retrieves the bomb, but with 3 seconds left, he needs to play a team deathmatch. And while he doesn't get the kill, he too will run out of time. And as he cowers, as he hides on Van, he has enough money to, be alright with dying. But for mouz at 14, they're going to win the map before they break the Flames economy.
It's a big round for them to pick up, and honestly, I have no idea how. One that they had very little equity in, and they snatch it away. Gives them plenty of extra money to work with too. Xerxian with that AK-47 behind him, 14-11. Still a chance here for Copenhagen Flames, but those smiley faces and confidence that we saw a couple of rounds back might be turned into fear right now. Nikados really needs to hit the shot here. There's 2 potential players that could come in for the peak. Torzy there in jungle too. A great flashbang allows Shui to swing, and that's Hooksy gone early. Brilliant pop.
Zyphon. They shuts down Shui. It's traded by Torzy. Relieves them into the 4. And now 3-on-2. That's Roy. He's able to follow it up from jungle there. That's a saviour to the round, leaving it all onto Shane. And while he's good for the first, Nika does. Uncharacteristic for him to miss a shot as Shane tries to cover the distance to them. He sits by Khan, hoping for timing on the AWPer. But Nika does. He's the master of timing, Kieran, as he shuts down Shane. They make it 12 on the Flames, separating the 2 sides by just 2 rounds now. So we'll wait for the follow-up.
It's a huge round for the Flames to win. Even if they don't, they'd have had money behind them to have another crack at it, but then they'd be playing for overtime, and I don't think it has that same kind of effect. Roy, another big multi-kill in the round to take it over the top for them. Still head and shoulders above many of his teammates here, and even the opponents on the server. Nice bit of movement from Xerxian to get him into short, but he's caught out as he falls away, so whilst he's still alive and kicking, he's taken a lot of damage. He's low on health. We're back down to a half buy. So Deagle's out here for mouz NXT. But as we've seen previously, that sometimes isn't a massive disadvantage for them.
With the smoke, Xerxian. He jumps up. He's the first member. Hooksy, he actually gets the kill there as Xerxian's taken down, and that's the only rifle, bar the AK, that mouz really had to wield. These Deagles, though, will still be lethal to Hooksy with only 11 HP. And considering Torzy doesn't have armor, considering Shui doesn't have armor, for mouz, this isn't really a likely round to win, but hey, they're looking pretty strong here. Copenhagen Flames prepare their flank into A. The only man to stop them is that aforementioned man is Shui, with that AK, with that molly, without armor, meaning he is only on about half tank of hope. As Zyphon goes to join them, it looks like the bomb will go down. The question is, will they be able to hold the site?
I mean, Shui's got a brilliant position right now, but firstly, they should know where he is, bearing in mind there was that aggression in Palace earlier. And secondly, they've got 3 mollies, so they can definitely keep him back. Now, Copenhagen Flames, they just can't lose this round. If they lose this one, it's got to be unbelievably tilting, knowing that it was your game for the taking, and then you lose 2 Deagle rounds to let it slip. Lightning fast headshot from Zyphon. Nikados following up, brings them the man advantage.
No.
A lot of damage taken, though. They're incredibly low on health. These Deagles could definitely get something done, but with Nikados finding the headshot, it's all over. JDC, toasty toes, burning alive, finished off by Zyphon, and we go 14-13. A buyout will come in here for mouz NXT, but if they lose it, then they'll lose control of this game that they've kind of had control of throughout.
Yes, the Trusty banner appears on your screen. You remember that Trusty, the people who made this whole thing possible. They are really, really wonderful people. And of course, why let your playing experience be disrupted by slow payments? Of course, you can use Trusty to make payments flow quickly from account to account. With no cards, app download, or registration, you can try making payments with Trusty at pinnacle.com/odds, where you'll find the latest in-play offerings for Copenhagen Flames versus mouz NXT. Always remember, though, that sports should be fun, so only play with what you can afford. And to keep safe, our full terms and conditions will apply. As mouz look to apply a bit of pressure on ramp. They go for those early smokes. They try to keep Copenhagen Flames from doing anything too ambitious, and for now it works. But to what extent does Copenhagen Flames do just sit back, relax, and but now look to drain some more of the mouz economy? Or utility at that.
You know, all pro players always have crazy numbers on their stat tracks.
It's insane, isn't it?
300,000 kills.
Do you know what happens when you get to 999,000? 999?
No.
Resets straight back to 1.
Oh, man. That sucks.
It's rough, isn't it? I feel bad for the guy who has to find that out.
Yeah, me too. I need to do something about that. That is rubbish.
Yeah, that's actually really sad. However, should be all good though. As right, good for 1. Shane instantly there to trade. So it falls into the 4-on-4. Saucy, missed shot of the follow-up. Nikados scoped in now as through the smoke. It's a bit of damage done. Shane for 1, JDC for the 2nd. Nikados, while he does trade, he's currently trapped in Palace as if Zyphon's taken down. Very much only 25 seconds left. This is another tough round for the Flames, but that air of winnability. Assertion's good for the first. It's all on Nikados. Good for 1. Able to get back in time means that he can flick to jungle if he wants, and as he sees the next member, should know the location of these players. However, with limited time, Nikados, the only mistress that refuses to wait for him, that being time, as proves to be cruel. Seen as CT gets the kill this time round, and like that, we're going to see mouz hit to match point. But Copenhagen Flames, they still have a lot of money to work with.
Yeah, Nikados actually dies after time there, which in any other scenario would be heartbreaking. Right here, as you say, they do still have money behind them. In fact, tons of it. So it can fully reinvest. 15-13. 2 on the trot is what's required to take us to overtime here for the Flames. mouz NXT, this has actually been a really shaky second half for them. But luckily, on their part, they were able to find enough rounds in that first half. They were able to take the pistol round and string together a couple at the start here as well. So all they've really required is a couple here and there to take it over the top. Now, Copenhagen Flames may be looking a little worried. But as we kind of discussed before, Mirage isn't a map they were necessarily expecting to win. So they need to keep this morale up if they want a shot at this series, because they've still got a very good chance of winning it, even if they do lose this first.
This is a dicey position, and honestly, I hope that's for this side they're able to follow it up. I would love to see this go to overtime. For Copenhagen Flames, that util comes out. So they go once again for this kind of mid-heavy default, which granted has worked for them up until these last couple of moments, and Assertion turns his back on shore. He isn't worried about that attack for now. Instead, we see Roy gets to be boosted into window. Shui expecting it though. Sees that util deployed, and as Roy goes through the smoke, there's the first kill. There's the man advantage. Now, as Copenhagen Flames prepare their hit to be JDC, a man who has proven to be immovable this game, sits coiled, waiting for the attack. And for mouz, limited util. They really are going to have to rely on supremacy of aim here. The volleys are perfect though, but it doesn't matter. JDC good for 3, leaving it all on to Nikudos in a 1v4. He has to go huge here. He misses his shot. Xertion delivers, and mouz take map 1, 16-13. Here's the thing though, Josh. It shouldn't have been that close.
It definitely should have been, but let's take a look at this again. A textbook mistake made from Copenhagen Flames. They throw the molly, but they neglect it. They don't hold for that swing. They're not expecting JDC to come out of the corner. And look at him. He's happy with that. He is very, very happy. Relieved.
He looks so relieved indeed. A really, really strong performance from mouz NXT there. Of course, with that, though, we're going to go to a quick little break. When we return, we're going to see if Copenhagen Flames have anything to say about that over on their map pick of Vertigo. Trust me, it's one you do not want to miss, so stick around. We'll be back in about 5-10 minutes. Don't go anywhere. Hello. Welcome back to mouz NXT. Takes on the Copenhagen Flames. We've got our pistol round, we've got our game 2, we've got mouz's chance to press around the playoffs. The Copenhagen Flames' chance to stop. Duxie going into this round with a smoking molly. The only util that's going to be left as Nikolos expends his smoke already. Over on mouz Sports, we have that smoking kit on Shui, and that's it. They're here for Angels, they're here to take the skillful fights, and for Zyphon, he joins his teammate. They both sit in position. Roy, seen as he hides behind that box, will be tapped down a bit by JDC, but with no blood really being drawn yet, we're waiting to see what mouz can do on their defense. With Shui sitting by Tetris, here's that volley, here's that execution, and as Shui's forced out, Jabby swings into him. That smoke gets deployed, but it's too late. Zyphon's there for the first. The follow-up is that Tools. He's good for Hooksy. Traded by Zyphon, leaves us into the 4-on-3, and as they try to retrieve these weapons, they are able to wield a USP now. Looking that bit scarier is Zyphon as he sits by the platter. He knows full well that mouz are going to be waiting for him. Xertion falls anyway, though. Zyphon a clean kill. Zyphon, while it's messy, he's punished as JDC and Shane chime in. Roy able to trade onto 1. He's up for Nikodos. He's there for the 2nd. It's Copenhagen Flames with the pistol, and they're opening to Vertigo.
Well, not a bad start from them at all. Of course, I talked earlier on about the fact that there's only one match on record here for this mouz NXT roster on Vertigo. It was against the Lyngby Vikings. We casted it. It was about a week and a half ago, where they won 16-13. Now, it was a brilliant result. We were very, very impressed. It was a map that they needed to win to take the series 2-0, so it was actually their opponent's pick there. And, you know, despite casting these teams over 100 times each, Copenhagen Flames and Lyngby Vikings always seem to get mixed up in my head. I think it's just because they're both Danish, and I don't know. I actually don't know why it is, but
they're
my
both
brain
Danish.
just...
Well, both of them are pretty good. Both of them
they
happen
both
to...
play at the same level.
Yeah,
I think they swap players every now and again.
You've got to keep us on our toes. What do we call them? The Lyngby Flames, and just encapsulate all of them.
The Lyngby Flames and the Copenhagen Vikings. Copenhagen Vikings is actually a cool name, you know.
The Copenhagen Viking. That's actually a really good name, damn. We should make a brand.
We're making a Counter-Strike team.
Yeah, that's it. We can only take people from Copenhagen, so boot camping becomes easy. And there you have it. That would be easy. Hooksy, he makes this round look easy with that back 10. And wow, the money is being farmed at the moment.
Well, there you go. Just like that, over and done with. Now, mouz NXT, they kind of made it look like that they were on an eco there. That wasn't the case at all. They had invested into the Desert Eagles. They had Kevlar behind it. That was just terrible. That was terrible on their part. See them come into round number 3 with about $3,000 in the bank on every man. I think we might see like P250 here on there, but probably not much more than that. Copenhagen Flames, they're going to be happy to go for another bonus here with these 2 MAC-10s. Hooksy and Roy already above 3K. That's post-buy, so they're in a very solid position right now.
All right, ready for a follow-up. Torzy hides in position as these nades go off. mouz awaiting the attack. Try to follow it up as Xiphon can't take the engagement yet. Instead, he swings out. JDC catches him out. Like that, there's a bad advantage for mouz. And bear in mind, this is an eco, so a couple of kills here or there would be great for them. Anything more would be perfect. Anything less than, well, they're not expecting much. And in this case, they seem to be doing a pretty good job, but looking, well, in this case, pretty strong, as Copenhagen Flames haven't had a chance to bare their teeth yet. As they hold the close angle, Hooksy with a smack 10 should be able to tear through Xerxes. He does just that with an easy flick, and like that, the whole defense collapses.
Hooksy farming so much money right now. Roy is slipping in for one at the end there too, but $7,600. Come on, that MAC-10's done its job. Throw it away, upgrade to the AK. I don't want to see another bonus round here. He's got more than enough to justify it. We see that Pinnacle banner popping up, folks. I mentioned it earlier. I'll mention it again. Remember, if you bet €10 on esports, you get €10 to spend elsewhere when you sign up using code CUP21. Go to pinnacle.com/welcome, where you can sign up. And if you're a new user, then you're entitled to that awesome promotion that they're running at the moment. Remember, please, please, please bet responsibly. Never gamble more than you can afford. And if you want to check out the terms and conditions, they're available on the website. Rifles in play, AWP on Torzy. No AWP here for Copenhagen Flames to work with. Instead, Nikodos has got Roy's MAC-10. So, interesting buyer. Xiphon still finds the first headshot regardless.
That was an insane shot. Really, really strong opening there. As we get ready for a follow-up, Shane will be the man called to action here. What's proven to be a very strong player when it comes to this defense, and well, proving exactly why there. While Roy does kill his teammate, that still counts as Shane. As we see Roy clear that site, he'll be able to get that bomb plant, and while that molly means he'll be uncontested, his teammate still isn't there to support him. So the second the bomb has gone down for Roy, we can't guarantee he'll survive, and well, that's proven by JDC. As he goes to that smoke, that defuse will come through momentarily, and for Nikodos, because he only has a MAC-10, because he has been playing bonus, the Deagle has to make do, and in this case, the Deagle's getting a bit of work done. Torzy finishes the job, though, as mouz, they put themselves on the board.
I mean, that's kind of my issue. Obviously, there'll be more than enough money for mouz to go for another buy here. I do understand the idea behind going for the bonus right there, but if Nikodos had something else to work with, if Hooksy didn't only have a MAC-10 there too, I think they would have had much more of an impact. I think that round would have been very winnable, but they're taking long-range duels on the B stairs with MAC-10s up against an M4. It's just not a fight they're going to be winning. 3-1, mouz NXT, as you say, they're on the board now. They've got a chance to maybe pull this even further. Do have to face up against the big guns, though. Nikodos popped through the smoke, narrowly missing Torzy. Torzy goes for a bit of a prediction shot on the right-hand side, and it doesn't pay off. It's just blind firing for these two snipers so far with no success.
I'm waiting to see the mouz defense when they have a double up setup, because we've seen how they've not really shied away from it. They're more than happy to drop one to, I believe JDC is the other AWPer. And as mouz, once again, just set up with not really forwarded positions, but the same sort of defense you'd see against any round. It's nothing too wild, and with a missed shot by Torzy, Roy instantly able to trade means that they forgo that man advantage.
I actually think Torzy's hit the scaffolding there.
That would make sense, wouldn't it?
It looked like it. I could be wrong, but it looked like he hit the scaffolding there. I'm not sure where else his bullets disappeared to. Shuey trying to aggress, though, trying to get an interesting angle, and it works out beautifully. Just manages to slip away before the smoke as well. This man has got incredible movement, and there's a brilliant showcase of it. Just disappears. Jabby, so he does take out the flank of JDC and maintains the man advantage here for Copenhagen Flames. They're still in trouble. This A site still got 3 members defending, and there's only 30 seconds left to tick.
As they hide in place, we get ready for a follow-up. Shuey amount to call for as Nika does. Sees the head of the man on Tetris, but 20 seconds left. He can't wait for the swing. He has to take the fight. And well, for Shuey, massive whiff there, but Nika does flick was just insane. Eventually, Jabby falls to Shane. He reveals himself, but in a 1 versus 3, he's got to swing into the orb, but Nika does. It's a bold order, and we're ready to finish the job just like that. And leaves us into the 4-on-1.
That shot from Nikados was absolutely incredible. mouz NXT were trying to time the swing so that the close player would go for the peak at the same time as his teammate up towards the boxes. And, well, normally that would work. If it was me and you pushing up ramp there, Kreml, we'd have been demolished. But Nikados, lightning fast reactions to flick up and take the head of the man on the boxes. And then the second player, well, just doesn't stand a chance. 4-1, Copenhagen Flames put themselves back down on the board, and they should be able to have a comfortable one here against the Pistols too.
I'm really interested to see who's able to win in this follow-up, because this engagement has not really been working for mouz at all here. The aggression on ramp, even when they had orcs and they had rifles, it just doesn't really work. And well, we get ready for a follow-up. We'll see if they can trade it now, but for the time being, they just sit back, they wait, and as Jabby has to hard clear ramp, Shane, already low HP, has to pray that some headshots ensue here.
Well, Jabby finding Shane. As the nades start to rain over for Copenhagen Flames, they're having a real clean round here. The less casualties they take, the better it is for them and their money. We're really seeing it start to build up. Another one found. Shuey does manage to swing out. He stayed hidden the whole round. I'm surprised that he actually let his teammate fall there. But he does find himself the AK. B-hopping like Foon. Look at that. Another showcase of the movement. Can he do more damage, though? Yes, he can. Another headshot onto Zyphon. They're going to be on a buy in the next regardless, so I don't think he's too worried about holding on to this AK. He's looking to do damage here, maybe even win the round. Ooh.
Really, really strong shot from Jabby. I'll tell you what, it's all confidence, Josh. It is all confidence. The closer we see Copenhagen Flames gets to what would be a kind of 8-9 mark, then we're going to end up seeing mouz kind of stagnate massively. Bear in mind, mouz is a side that does prefer their T side, but similarly to how we saw Mirage play out, they're really bad when they don't have confidence.
Well, back onto the rifles. mouz NXT can really do with this one. A lot of damage dealt onto Shane early. Counter spam, tracing the bullets. It's one of the issues that comes with the M4A4 that's kind of always overlooked. It doesn't have too much of an impact here in competitive CS. You're playing like Danger Zone or something, then it really comes into play. It does, you know. M4A1S crazy OP in Danger Zone because you don't get the bullet tracers, so people just don't know where they're being shot from. But it does kind of come into play when you're going for smoke spams like that. M4A4, you know exactly where it's coming from.
I forget you're a Danger Zone sweat.
I love Danger Zone, man. I'm wicked at it. I think I could be a Danger Zone pro.
Except for the fact there will never ever be Danger Zone tournaments because you can't find a tournament circuit for something that's based around RNG.
It's not based around RNG. Otherwise, I wouldn't win every time.
But you don't. You forget I lived with you, Josh, for a while, and I don't think I saw you win one game.
A lot of the time.
Whatever you say. Whatever makes you feel better, Josh.
Whatever. They used to have it on Face It, and then I think they took it down.
Because it wasn't interesting.
Yeah, you suck.
You're a pro circuit and one player.
Yeah, that makes me the best in the world.
It also makes you the worst in the world.
I suppose.
We've got the flank coming in, and whoa, for Shane, that's a nice kill. He doesn't realise there's more, though, as Jabby doubles down, and while the players on A-With have killed, it leaves us in a 3-on-3. The cross from Torzi, unable to punish the member, meaning that Vertigo does. You may feel emboldened to peek into the angle. So Shuey, as he comes in through mid, there's Jabby to worry about. It's not yet, though, and with no utility, they need the Angels to work out for them as they drop down. Roy peek into them, doesn't have to. There's Jabby for the first, Roy for the second, and like that, Copenhagen Flames, they make it 6 with what's turning out to be a bit of a one-sided half here.
Absolutely. Now, you can't get too carried away with it. We saw Just on Mirage, only sort of 30, 40 minutes ago, how easy it is for one of these two teams to pull away, have a really good lead. mouz NXT were 8-1 up over on Mirage. And we kind of thought from that point it was just going to be a whitewash from there, and it just wasn't. It wasn't. There was a massive comeback. It really could have gone either way. It ended up coming very, very close. mouz NXT going to call a quick timeout here. They do not have the money to buy into this round, but with the max loss bonus, they can definitely justify some deagles and armor, maybe even a couple of MP9s here. You can see in this timeout, we're just having a little discussion about what the plan is moving forward, because so far things aren't going their way.
Oh yeah, ready for a follow-up. I'm interested to see if mouz actually changed their tone and changed their style, because at the moment they seem to be very oriented around just swinging in and playing for trades and crossfires. I would love to see them up the tempo. I'd love to see them maybe go for ramp control. Maybe not this round, but on a full buy.
Yeah, they haven't really contested it too much, have they? We've seen like a couple of peaks here and there, but nothing crazy aggressive. Shane showcasing it again, just falling with that deagle. It's instead Hooksy on the other end of it to take him down. Look at this, just really, really clean stuff. Jabby pushing into the site, should be able to take this one. It's a little messier than I thought, and JDC's there to capitalize. A lot of damage dealt. But Jabby's low on health himself, so he has to get the hell out of there. Does a little switcheroo with Dador. Nikador's comfortable with the rifle. Jabby, this is a hell of an angle.
As you see them. Hasn't been able to follow it up yet, though, when with that, into the 4-on-3. I like how they have waited for everyone to stack up before they try and retake this bomb here, because we have mouz who's sit in position, JDC there to assist them. So Molly goes down. So Nikos will be ready to lead the charge. Torzi, is he seen? Oh, I don't know why Nikos hasn't seen him. There we go. He eventually reacts. He gets that kill. The nade is perfect for JDC, leaving Shuey in a 1v4. I mean, he needs to hit some wild shots if he wants a chance of winning this. And let's get ready for the follow-up. Roy in position. Just goes to the flank. I like that. We're going to see Shuey fall. I like that. Pinnacle Flames, they go 7-1 up. An insane performance there, as they really look to make this half look one-sided.
They really do, yeah. I thought maybe we'd see some damage there. That definitely wasn't the case. Nikadors, he's currently on 5 figures right now, going above that 10k mark. Roy not far behind him as well with 9,300. Another full investment here for mouz NXT. If they can't win it, though, we'll almost certainly see Copenhagen Flames push themselves to 9. This has been super one-sided. I'll be honest, I thought Vertigo was going to be a little closer than this. mouz NXT are on their CT side as well. Now, I know that some teams do prefer their attack. That was definitely the case on Mirage for this mouz side too. Here on Vertigo, yeah, some teams do opt to start off on their T side. For mouz NXT, they've chosen to start on their defense, and you'd think they'd be a little more comfortable than this.
Desertion in position. He tries to follow up. Jabby boosts up. And with a slow start, Shane follows it up there, goes to the high ground. The flash is perfect by JDC there. And that little jump is for the info. He could then spam the remaining player to their death. And he even did a bit of super damage to Zyphon as well, who's meant to be the trading member. But he gets too cocky, Josh, and he's punished for it as being deployed. We'll wait to see if mouz can follow it up. We wait to see if they can deliver, as JDC is good for the first. Shuey in position, has that molly land to force him out of position, and as he swings out off the back of that, Lincoln's the first to be taken down. Hooksy there to trade, Hooksy to double down before Torzi follows it through. And as Roy now, just in those numbers on the safe site, it's ready for a follow-up as they swing into him. No kill yet though, as he tries to get out of there. He's just able to do so, and I think you'll see in the process. Ooh. Not that he's able to follow it up, though. As soon as he falls, JDC can trade, luckily. But I tell you what, that round, it shouldn't have been that close. I think the orb's have fallen down the crack. Oh, it has.
Wow, that is rough.
And they don't get the orb. I mean, even though mouz win the round, that's going to be a bit of a disappointing outcome, surely.
Yeah, especially with the current money as well. Oh, look, there's one.
They got one anyway.
Coolio. Well, JDC would be happy with that. That's kind of a shame for Roy, I think. He's hit an incredible headshot there. And had he not have found that shot, I don't think he would have had the confidence to go for the second swing. But after hitting that headshot, he's kind of said to himself, yeah, I'm gonna have another dip at that one. When realistically, bearing in mind where the bomb was planted, he probably should have just taken a step away, played it from ramp, played a bit of time there. That could have worked out much better for him. We did see that statistic, though. He's actually going, what was that, 6-1 or 7-1 in duels against Shuey. Having a really good time here on the server so far. And so far in this series, too, he's been a really, really strong player.
This is looking really, really strong from this side. And while we wait for a follow-up, there's a couple of members of Copenhagen Flames who have this position of ramp to hold in position to take this fight. So that smoke goes down. Roy ready for a follow-up as he swings through. No kill yet, though. Instead, the Flames, they slowly shift around from ramp. Nika does. Not wanting to take an engagement yet, though. Instead, Torzy ready to engage with him. What's this angle? It's a really slow start here as the Flames sitting on ramp. They know that the attack's coming and they know that the defense knows they're coming, but they can't quite convert it. Torzy onto Nikidos, winning the AWP duel there as Hooksy over inside continuing to make a bit of noise. However, a noise to what avail as he hides. And with a two-man disadvantage, the Flames with no control bar the position of ramp. As we think that a save isn't out of the question here, their money is not great, especially with Torzy hitting Jabby there. While Zyphon trades for one, Hooksy trades for the second. There's still a man down with 20 seconds left, and with a missed shot from Torzy, that might embolden Zyphon to swing out, and for good reason. It goes into the 2-on-2 before JDC is able to respond, leaving Zyphon alone. Be caught out by Shane in the bait and switch, giving mouz their third, and as they retrieve the AWP, they continue to look a little bit scary now.
Perhaps so. Two on the trot. They're starting to deplete this money for Copenhagen Flames. I mean, there's still enough of it to go for a buy here, but it's certainly falling away. And as I said, it's just textbook. Well, a textbook example of how easy it is to take a really, really strong lead, look really good at the start, and then things to start to slip away. Copenhagen Flames could really do with winning this round if they want to continue this kind of pressure that they've been applying. Otherwise, they'll be left with no money and maybe no hope. Torzy trying to go for an angle above this smoke. Needs to be careful when you're standing on that railing. It's very easy to take a step back and slip off the building. Good util usage, though.
I'm interested to see if there's a follow-up. As Shane swings out, there's Hooksy to get the kill, and with a two-man disadvantage, you see something huge from Xerxes here. Bear in mind, as he goes 2-10, he's having a fairly dicey game, but that doesn't stop him from getting a kill onto Jabby now. This could be a shot at redemption. So he gets ready to swing out once more. Nikinos holding the first angle, but that doesn't stop the flashes. Xerxes for 3, follows it up, looks to make it 4, while Zyphon finishes the job. It's only to make a momentary peace before Shuey is there to finish the job. And I tell you what, for Xerxes, that was an incredible round, considering that before that round even started, he was going 1-10.
Oh, a big 3K from him. The Pinnacle banner popping up again. Remember, bet €10, get €10. It has to be on Esports, folks. But yeah, when you sign up using code CUP21, you're entitled to that awesome promotion that they're running at the moment, which gives you a little more bang for your buck. mouz NXT quick timeout from them because they've now won 3 in a row. They've recognised the fact that their opponents are going to be on a weaker buy here. This is kind of the final hurdle to overcome. And if they can overcome it, then that'll more than likely give them 6. And all of a sudden, a very one-sided half becomes pretty much as even as it gets.
Absolutely right. And I'm interested to see if mouz make this half any closer. Bear in mind that they've really struggled in the kind of opening stages. Now they found their rhythm. Do we see a 8-7? Bear in mind, if we do see an 8-7, I reckon they've won the map purely on momentum. But for now, Copenhagen Flames, they have an investment, I guess, in this round. They don't have much of a money behind them, though, and it definitely paves the way for mouz, but for first things first, they need round 12.
Torzy
nice little one-way to work with in this smoke around the edges of it. Shui, messy spray, only finds one. Lots of damage dealt, though. And Tor's able to take out Hooksy, which means that the 2 low HP players are still going. As soon as they take a duel with a rifle, it should fall. Zerjan would be the man to more than likely take that fight up towards Ivy. Torzy falling right away, just gets back in the nick of time. You can take a new angle, but flashed off of it. Has to readjust. There's Zerjan taking the engagement. Torzy with another. Should have been able to connect for that second there. Gives Nikadors a potential lifeline, but he has to tap down these digits. And surely they swing him. No, Zerjan actually waits for his teammate. So interesting stuff, but he still finds the kill regardless.
Really?
7-5. And yeah.
Really nice stuff from mouz there. I think Zerjan probably could have been a bit more ambitious, and yeah, Torzy could have hit the second shot, but it doesn't matter if you show cracks, as long as you can recover them. And in this case, they really can. mouz, with what is now 5, have Copenhagen Flames sent into quite a dire circumstance where they invest here. Sure, I mean, they have to. They lose that, and mouz are going to be almost unstoppable for the remaining stages of this half.
We can see back to full focus. 7-5. I'm surprised they've actually gone for a buy here. I mean, bearing in mind, we did see the bomb go down. We saw 3 kills. Maybe they definitely can justify it, but 3 Galils in play, really limited utility for them to work with. This is going to be a tough one for them to win. However, if they do so, mouz NXT will be left with no loss bonus and no money. Very interesting angle taken here from the aggressor towards B. That's Shane. He's got himself in a brilliant position. Realistically, he just needs to hold this.
I like how he was trying to find something to hide behind there, and there just isn't. So he has to take a aim duel from an angle they just won't expect, and fair enough to him. With the information, that alone should be enough, as the Flames have a pretty heavy stack when it comes to, say, defense. And for Torzy, he's ready to be called into action over on sandbags. He knows the peak's coming, but once again, he has to try and stop it.
Advantage here for the defense. And switch between Zerjan and Torzy would have been fantastic had they have pushed into it, but Zyphon's just realised a hole in the defence towards B, and I think this rotation is going to come through. The issue they face is this aggressive angle that could be taken. Zyphon, look how powerful this position is. He might actually be able to catch out the rotations here.
Zyphon supposed to follow up. JDC caught out, leaves us in the 2-on-2 when now things look a bit stronger for Mao, or for Copenhagen Flames, that is. Torzy through the smoke, that gets that kill. Meaning Jabby has to be called to action. His call to arms should rally him here. And for Zerjan and Torzy, as they hard clear the site, they've got no util to work with, so they're just going to tap this bomb and hope they can kill him. As they do so, Jabby swings out, tries to take the duel. As he does so, Zerjan C. Torzy, he sticks it though, like that. That is ballsy by Torzy, and he gets the kill as well. Jabby, that's going to be a hit to the wallets, but for Torzy, the fact that he's able to really win that is insane. The discipline it takes to hold it for an extra second, and, well, he's rewarded with it. As now, with only 1 round separating these two sides, mouz have made a monumental comeback here.
And that's really the issue with not being able to establish the proper post-plant position that he wants to there. Because they didn't have any ult. Nikadors, that's not landed where he wanted it to. But yeah, because they didn't have control of the B stairs, he had to plant it safe, and it meant that they could defuse safely as well. Torzy, very smart read there to just hold that one. As we go 7-6, it's another force fire off of the back of the 4 kills and the bomb plant. They're continuing to go for these Galils, and they're just not working.
Well, we have a tough position. Let's see if it's one that can be exploited. JDC's there for Jabby. Roy, from the flank. Oh, Shui, do we see the knife kill? Please see the knife kill. Is it going to happen? She's toying with him, but he opted otherwise. It's just an execution, leaving Nikadors in a 1v4. And while he is good for the first member, we'll see if he can peek into them past that as he throws the AWP out the map. And it's a wise choice, and there isn't much money on mouz at all, so that AWP, it ain't being retrieved. And will he now be able to do damage with this AK as he swings out? deleting JDC. With that, he is just looking to wreak havoc on the mouse defense, and sure he's out of time to both re-clear the area and get the plant, but at this stage, saving the AK, not a bad endeavor.
I mean, I suppose it's not too bad, but I wouldn't be. If I was in his situation right now, I would actually be looking to die, because the last thing they want is to be staying alive here, then not having any money, and teammates kind of being forced to buy up around him again. What Copenhagen Flames really need right now, yeah, we have got to disconnect. It's Hooksy. Hooksy's gone, yeah. What Copenhagen Flames, in my opinion, really need right now, though, is just a half-buy round, so that they can go for a full investment. We've seen so many rounds where they're lacking on the utility, or they've only got Galils and things like that. Finally, they have a round there where they don't get a bomb plant. They can't really justify the force. And then had that AK stayed alive on Nikados, it then would have sort of pressured them into going for a force buy again, which is just not what they need right now.
Absolutely right. And I'm interested to see if there is any form of response from the members of Copenhagen Flames, purely because they have a really uncomfortable position where they were, I think, 7-1 up at one point. Yeah, they were 7-1 up. They're now equal. Even if they lose, the fact is that they've taken such a pummeling now that mouz on momentum alone, I think, actually just win the map and subsequent series. And like we saw, yeah, mouz look laser focused at the moment. Do you see this being a victory for mouz, or?
Potentially so, yeah. At the very start of this game, to be honest, I was definitely leaning towards Copenhagen Flames, but from what we've seen here, now we've seen this scoreline tie up, and by the looks of things, mouz NXT should actually be able to take the lead here in the half. Yeah, I reckon that they take Vertigo. I think that their T side is going to be better than their CT side here.
Yeah, fair enough. I think the same here as Roy. He's aware that Torsey could be going aggressive, but he hasn't seen him yet. Torsey, oh, he dodges every single member. He jumps up. Roy eventually reacts there, and for a moment I thought Torsey had managed to weave his way through the Copenhagen Flames minefield. Unfortunately, he hadn't. Instead, the depth charges will finish him off, and with Nikados on the sandbags, that molly going to make Shui's life a little bit hotter, as he extinguishes it instantly, revealing his position, and now for Xerxin, he has to try and flash his teammate out, as with a minute left on the clock, Shane continues to flank, once again with a huge amount of control here. Will it be enough? As they're out of nades on Copenhagen Flames as well, so they can't kill Shui yet. Instead, Xerxin, he needs to try and stop himself from aggressing too far. That secondary smoke, though, just perfect, as with 45 seconds left. Hooksy, oh, the timing is just soul-crushing. And as the swing comes out from Xerxin, he's good for one before Roy trades, opening up side, and as they get ready to commit to it, 30 seconds left now. Shane on the flank. Has he been seen by Jabby? No, he hasn't. I think Jabby suspects him, but he hasn't confirmed it yet. And as Jabby starts backing off, it goes into the 4-on-2. JDC, the man who has to try and stop them with what is now 20 seconds left. Smokes go off. He has to try and hide in them. Hope for timing. He might be lucky, but spams it with no kill like that. We're going to be seeing Copenhagen Flames take the half at 8-7.
It's a much better round there from Copenhagen Flames, and even Jabby to finish it off with the headshot through the smoke there. 8-7. Decent half for both sides, to be honest. Copenhagen Flames probably be kicking themselves that they couldn't get a little more, but oh hum. 1.3 to 3.2. They're the series odds, based on the fact that mouz NXT did win map 1.
It's going to be interesting to see what gets done in response. As the members of Pinnacle, or the members of the Pinnacle playoffs, actually, all of them are looking really strong. Bear in mind that the winner of this game is going to have to go on to play against Sinners. Now, that's going to be tough, don't you think? I mean, Sinners is... I feel like if you're mouz, or Copenhagen Flames, actually, you see the games you have to play, and you think, oh, okay, all right, it's going to be a tough game for our opening. What about the second one? Oh, for God's sake. And then even if they've passed through that, they're going to be against either Ents, Have, or Endpoint. Like, this is far and away the hardest side of the bracket. And I think if anyone from these kind of initial three get to the semi-finals, finals, they really are in hot contention to win the whole tournament. Hooksy is good for the first. Bad advantage for Copenhagen Flames as they follow it up, and they hide in place. There's JDC for another 4-on-4 now. Hooksy gets the hell out of there. So they try to follow him. They try to chase him. Nikinos now reveals himself. Very clean kill to JDC there. Can't quite double down though, as Copenhagen Flames, they stack their defense very heavily onto this site. Nikinos for another though, continues to wreak havoc, and as Zyphon joins him, it's all onto Torzi.
The P2000, not often the CT pistol of choice, and whilst he might be the one that stands out, he's the one that finds the kills. Really incredible stuff there from Nikinos. 2 crisp headshots. You mentioned at the start of the round about whoever wins this one has a very difficult game ahead, and as we've said time and time again, this tournament's just been stacked. Throughout the whole of the main Swiss stage, we've seen some incredible teams. The playoff stage is stacked with kind of veterans and also teams that have really emerged recently. At the start of last round, we saw a bit of a comparison. Both of these two teams looking pretty close in almost every aspect here in this first map, or sorry, in this second map. Now's NXT, though, just down to the pistols, on the back foot, around down, but a trade comes in early, 1-for-1.
JDC, that Deagle actually did really well to get that trade for Zyphon. He's hunting for the advantage, and as he does so, JDC takes a bit of damage. He's unscathed in the process as Uxie in mid shuts down Xerxian. Nikinos, timing, not quite favouring him here as they swing out. Nikinos is there for the first, he's there for the second. It's all on JDC. Zyphon finishes the job, and as Copenhagen Flames go 10-7 up, mouz are in a bit of trouble.
Yeah, no money for the buy here. You see, Copenhagen Flames, I don't really want to call it a bonus round. I feel like it's always cheating calling it a bonus round when it's kind of out of necessity. Like, no one actually really has the money to upgrade anyway. But we still see that for Mass in play. We still see that MP9 on Hooksy. This is a good chance for them to rack up some cash against these pistols. JDC, my goodness, opening things up with a beautiful headshot with the Tech 9. His entries have been really good today.
Yeah, he has had quite a good game, hasn't he? So he gets ready to follow it up. Roy on Tetris hasn't committed to anything yet. Swings out, gets the kill. JDC to full. There's the equalizer. Now, I like how mouz haven't gone for a full buy here. They just put out a few deagles. They have really opted for what is the further eco, was it's just got a bit of extra teeth into it. As Jabby swings into the members, he's pressured by Torzi, but he can't get the kill yet. The fact he's still alive here is incredible. Eventually, Shane finishes the job, but the damage has been done, surely. Xerxian, he tries to trade, he can't do so. Shane's good for another, but dueling with Zyphon has proven to be a very hard job. He's not even needed. Like that aid gets the job done, and with that, Copenhagen Flames now with an 11-7 lead. The spy round fails for mouz. I suspect we are going to be going to see our third.
Potentially so. It's still fairly early days, especially in this second half, so I still think there's a good chance here that mouz NXT could pull something together now that they've got the big guns out. But so far, they've definitely looked a little bit out of place here on this T side, which is a shame because, as I said before, their T side on Mirage was really good. It was actually much better than their defense. They were looking a lot more comfortable. That's a bit of aggression towards ramp. Good flashes, but just when I thought they might try and push through that smoke, they actually retreat right back out of it. JDC takes the contact on B, spots the arm, aggresses further, but Jappy's there for both. Second through the smoke, and he's still alive and kicking, hasn't taken a point of damage.
Once again, you need to remember that this is a single elim playoff bracket. You lose here, you're out. Like, there is those second chances. And as Jabby just goes huge there, he's on for the ace, and Shui, I mean, he's back in T-spawn. He doesn't want anything to do with this. He just wants to hide. He wants to save the AK. And the fact that it's come to this point is insane. Copenhagen Flames remembering how badly mouz came back against them. Consider that they've been able to get almost a second wind here is really, really strong.
This has been an incredible round from Jabby as well. He's played it to just a masterful degree. You see how he finds that first kill, uses the cover of the smoke to get the second, then kind of tucks himself away, dances around his own smoke grenade, finds that third, then the fourth is a little bit of a kind of 50-50 duel, but he wins it. And now he's on for the ace in a full buy round. Not something you see very often, and he might just be able to get it. And there you go, pre-fire in, spots Shui's gun barrel, and it's an ace on the board for Jabby. That is huge. 21 to 11.
So happy with that. Of course, as the Pinnacle banner appears on your screen, remember that when you bet €10, you then gain an extra €10. It's only when you bet on esports, though. If you sign up using code CUP21 over at pinnacle.com/welcome, head over there, find out more. Remember that you should only ever bet in a fun and safe environment, only bet with what you can afford. Full terms and conditions apply. But go give Pinnacle the love they deserve, because they've made this whole thing possible, Josh.
Absolutely. Cameron, what would you consider as a fun betting environment?
Fun
bet on a bouncy castle. You could bet.
I feel like
if park.
Betting on a bouncy castle is pretty tough because you're gonna, the icons are quite small. You're gonna click on the wrong one.
You might bounce and press the wrong button. Yeah.
Maybe on a beach with a beer with friends. The sun's out. That'd be pretty fun. That sounds fun.
That does sound fun, yeah.
Yeah, there we have it. There's your fun environment. As Jabby and Uxie, good for two. As Jabby to double down before Shane can trade. Devios into 4-on-2 with Shui tapping down Nika Dolls. I mean, it certainly helps as Uxie slowly pushes out from CT. Don't see the first member yet. So with that, the bomb falls. It's all onto Shane in a 1v3. Huxley swings out to him. Missed shot by Shane, punished by Huxley. Gives Copenhagen Flames their 13th. And for mouz, they seem to be struggling a bit aim-wise.
Well, a 6-round deficit now. Buyout once again, but mouz NXT in trouble here. Torsey with that AWP needs to have a big impact. We always kind of big him up. He had a big game in the first map. Now he's only sitting on 10 kills, having very little impact here on Vertigo. And this is where he needs to step up and shine. T-side, AWP, needs to have a big impact.
Big C. Haven't seen anyone yet as he sits over on scaffolding. As they do the odd bit of damage. There's no follow-up yet. Is this a really, really slow start from this side? As they sit in position, we'll wait to see. mouz, who have really run down the clock here, Josh. I love how they have just gone completely silent. And as we await the follow-up, Uxie sat by side. Can't commit to a fight just yet, though. Instead, Zertian swings out. There's the attack. Roy good for the first. Follows it up with Huxley onto Torsey. The aggression from Copenhagen Flames has worked admirably. I mean, sure, Zertian's flank shuts down Nikadors, and as they try to ramp to B, the reality is Zyphon ready for them. He too falls, but on the flank, Huxley reveals himself as good for the first. Zertian back in mid as Shane ramps the stairs to assist him. Meaning the only man they can fight now will be Jabby, who sits by pillar, sees the first man coming, gets that kill, and Jabby proving to be the immovable objects in this. As Copenhagen Flames, they're going to hit 14 off the back of this, and like that, they look to close out the map.
Yeah, this has been a much quicker one than what we saw in Mirage, to be honest. I'm still... Part of my mind is still kind of expecting some sort of comeback here, but I'm not sure. As we get further and further into this second half, and Copenhagen Flames just prove to us that their defense is rock solid. I think they might just be able to close this one out. It's been a flawless side for them so far, 6 in a row, and they look to make it 7 or even 8 to finish this one off.
We see his side take the fight. Nikadors holding the angle, waits for the jump up. Hasn't seen anyone yet though. So Molly goes down. Right, swings out. Still no kill though. Zertian falls to 1 HP. So damage goes off. Nikadors for Zertian. Leaves him at a very uncomfortable position now. Torsey swings out. Caught out by Roy, he runs into a stack, and mouz looking really, really shaky here. It seems that Copenhagen Flames have a pretty good read on everything mouz have attempted. They've just had players there to kill them. Shane drops down, he's seen by Zyphon. I mean, it's messy, but he can afford for it to be, because he has the element of surprise. And with Shui and JDC now almost looking lost in their 2-on-4, I think we're seeing Ancient here, Josh.
We definitely should be, and I'm actually quite excited to see it as well. I think it's going to be a really cool decider map for these two teams. Ooh, nice headshot there from Shuey. But yeah, I think it's going to be a brilliant decider map for these two sides. Bear in mind, it's a single elim playoff bracket. There's so much to play for. There's so much on the line. And for a single map that's fairly new to the game and the competitive scene, it's a pretty cool proving ground.
It absolutely is. And it's Copenhagen Flames. They sit at 15-7. It's a really tough position for mouz here. And as they try to follow it up, I'll wait to see if they can maybe even have just a death rattle at this stage. As Copenhagen Flames, they've given them a bit of a schooling on the CT side of Vertigo, and like that, Nika does instantly opens it up again. He goes 20-9 right now, Josh. An insane performance from him there. Like that 21-9. Shade and JDC, while they do trade, it leaves us in a 4-on-4. Oh, sorry, 3-on-3, I apologize. Nika does prepares for the follow-up. There's none to come yet. mouz having kind of slowed the tempo. You sit on ramp, ready for an execution, but they haven't committed to anything yet, though.
3-on-3. Nikados getting aggressive here. This could work. The timing, it's everything. No one's watching the Ivy flank, and Nikados is able to punish. Shuey with the trade, back into a 2 versus 2. C4 can be tapped in. And no one's really here to cause any upset, go for anything funky. Good flash over the top, though, allows the aggression through. Jabby's there to find the headshot. And now the one-on-one. Jabby, smoke on the bomb. Now it's mind games. Needs to tap it, though. Apply that pressure. There we go. Now been tapped. Shuey goes for the swing and finishes things off. I feel like the only place that Jabby would be expected is like up close like that. I don't really know. Maybe not. Maybe Shuey would have gone for a half swing, sprayed in the smoke instead of fully clearing it. But either way, they've got enough rounds to play with to close here.
You're right. And I'm interested to see if mouz can mount a bit of a comeback, similarly to how they ended the first half. Bear in mind, that's 7 in a row. I mean, they've done it before. There's nothing wrong with doing it again now. But that starts they've had, yeah, it may be damage, too much damage done. Jabby with the MP9, he's ready to be flashed in. He sees both members below him. By some miracle, he survives, but Torzi, he makes sure that Hooksy doesn't. The trade, while not there by Jabby, proves to be a bit messy by him, but it's still continuous harassment of mouz. That's going to burn util. It's going to almost fatigue them as they get ready for a push into the A site. As they do so, Nikados in position. mouz going aggressive, swings into Torzi, legged in the process. He's Copenhagen Flames, still a man down.
It's actually crazy that Copenhagen Flames have won 7 rounds in a row here on their CT side. They've literally not dropped a single round since the pistol, but yet they're on a half buy here. It kind of shows how much damage they've taken in some of these rounds and how close they've really been. Zyphon, really needed to hit the headshot there. Somehow still alive despite being dinged by the Mac 10 at range, but he's in trouble. He's been overwhelmed, swarmed. Shane through mid takes another. Nikados and Roy recognize that they have to fall away and save these weapons, and it'll be 9 on the board here for mouz NXT.
That's right. He just hides in place with Nikados. The remaining members of Copenhagen Flames actually go down to an eco here. So I'll tell you what, Josh, maybe mouz breathe a bit of life here as that bomb will go off. And looking at the money on mouz, they really needed it. Rather, the money doesn't matter too much because if they lose, they've lost. But the losing players definitely is going to start being felt. And that's more so on the Copenhagen Flames side now. And honestly, I would love to see them eco around these weapons, actually, just so their money's synced for what would be the round after the next.
Oh, there you go. Bomb go boom. 9 on the board. mouz NXT should be allowed a bit of a freebie in the next as well. There's a bit of a tough decision here.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back as Copenhagen Flames take on mouz. Now, before we left off, we were talking about theorizing AWP drops and potential saves and maybe even rollbacks. Well, we've had a power outage. Power outage has been fixed. Here we are, 15-11. mouz, they won that previous round. That AWP must have been dropped for Nikados because here he is with it saved, Josh. I do apologize for the delay. It's all back. We've got it all working. Gotta be credit due to Reno for fixing that quickly. Power outages, they are usually involved by hours of downtime, followed by kind of what I would assume is angry Serbian men hitting something with a spanner. But no, they fixed it instantly. So that's really impressive, actually. Fair play to them.
Yeah, that was actually incredibly quick. I thought we'd be on a longer break than that as well, but there you go. I think they're just sort of like used to it. It's like you have like special codes, isn't it? It's code red, and then everyone knows what to do. Everyone has their positions. Someone goes over to the router and unplugs it and plugs it back in again. Someone runs over to the fuse box and makes sure nothing's tripped. Everyone's got their positions. Our producer, he's the...
Yeah.
I don't know what he does. Maybe he's the lights man or something.
The lights man. I imagine it probably isn't a router problem, Josh, for the lights go out as well.
Well, no. I'm not saying it's a router problem, but like when you have a power cut and then like the router reboots. I don't know.
I see. Like, it's someone with ready at the default gateway.
Yeah.
That's I would assume that exact thing happened. We are on our technical pause, so hopefully it should finish pretty quickly. And here's the thing, Josh, if this goes to OT, I actually see mouz winning this, but just getting to OT is a problem.
Yeah, it's the 4 rounds to get there, isn't there? And there's so much weight on their shoulders right now to actually achieve that. Once they do get to overtime, you do often see that the team that have made the comeback, it goes one of 2 ways. Yeah, they either continue that pressure, they end up taking it over the top, or that kind of pressure then being relieved ends up causing them to make mistakes, and it doesn't necessarily go their way. Personally, I'd quite like to see Ancient. I think that would be a really cool end to what has been a brilliant series between 2 brilliant teams. It's going to be heartbreaking, though. Whoever ends up losing this one, to see them knocked out and go home here. Both of these 2 sides have been fantastic. To be honest, to make it through the main Swiss stage and to get into the playoffs has been like a hell of a result for both of these teams. I think definitely for mouz NXT as well, like debuting this roster in this tournament. JDC right now, oh my goodness, this is amazing. He spotted out Nikados as well. The trigger discipline is brilliant. And there you go. First kill found, and he's got such an advanced position.
Does Zyphon see him? No, he didn't. Oh no, Zyphon, he's going to fall instantly here. That should be the round, really. I mean, Jabby will save the AK. That bomb will go down. Nope, that should be 12 for mouz. As we wait the follow-up, who can see? He has to just back off, cling to his weapons, and await to see what comes next. As he hovers around mid, we see what will be a very quick 12th from mouz there. And it's all at the back of JDC's trigger discipline. Insane stuff, and while they don't hunt Jabby, it means that AK is definitely going to be saved, but they're on a full buy next round anyway. All he's really doing is mitigating the economic hit they'll be taking.
There's nothing really for him to lose here. I suppose he's got Deagle and Kevlar, but I think he would quite like to do a little bit of damage or grab himself a rifle on the exit. Nothing comes his way, and is he going to dip in and either try and grab a gun and get out of there, or actually aggress on to the ramp? I mean, that's brilliant, Hooksy. See you later, JDC. Now, in terms of realistic impact that actually has, it's not a huge amount. There's tons of money here for mouz NXT, and the money's only going to build further, because as soon as they lose a round, that's it. It's game over. So that little bit of economic damage doesn't really mean a lot, but for Hooksy, maybe it's a little bit of a confidence booster. He's just hit a really nice 1 league.
Absolutely has, and as we enter the full buy of Copenhagen Flames, you need to remember they've only got about 1 full buy in them before we see overtime. I mean, they lose this 13 for mouz, Eco gives them 14, and then full buy will be what decides it. So JDC on the high ground, and needs to make sure that he doesn't drop, because the second he does, Zyphon will see it. Zyphon gets that kill. Shane, can he trade? No, he can't, as we see mouz now go a man down. They prepare for the follow-up over in pit with that molly going off for Shui. It's hard to clear all these angles, makes sure that no one's overstaying their welcome. But someone is, and that's Jabby. So he gets ready to be flashed in. There's that flash, there's that swing. He knows that Shane's on a close angle. He can't fight them yet, though. So instead, as he's boosted up, will he see the attack? No, he won't. And he jumps up. Zyphon, he's seen. It's so messy. Neither player gets the kill. Eventually, Shui does. They're only going to swing it to Jabby here, who reveals himself with that AK. He's good for the first. He swings out once again, assisted by a flash this time, as he continues the aggression. Torzy, quick enough to shut him down. Leaves us in a 3-on-3. With that kill, that might actually just force them straight back to A, and that's exactly what it does. Now, Roy, he's the man who's going to have to rise to this mantle. As they do so, will Torzy be able to stop them? As he holds the angle, Torzy swings it. Missed shot by Nikados. I think shooting out of reaction rather than shooting out of adjustment of aim. As he extinguishes that molly, he continues to hide back sight. The nades make his life harder. He waits for the swing. Torsey falls. Shane looking to trade, but Nikodos sits some shots now. Xerxes in a 1v3 to keep his team alive. He tries to swing into Nikodos, but we know how tough that can be. There's the attack. Leg down in the process. Makes his life even harder as he continues the fight. Nikodos, this one's 3k here. He goes out once again. There's the kill. There's the 16th. Copenhagen Flames, they take map 2. 16-12, forcing us to our third and final of Ancient. We will win? The newcomers of mouz or the Danish Titans? We'll have to see. It's what you don't want to miss. We do a quick 10-minute break. When we return, we'll see the outcome of this series. Hello. Welcome back, as we have got an incredible game in which mouz are going to be taking on Copenhagen Flames in our third and final game of this. Well, it's going to be a very close best of 3 in our first round of playoffs. The winner of this will progress to take on Sinners. The loser will be eliminated. There's no second chances. There's no lower brackets. Right now, this is a battle for survival. I'm Mikasa Kramer 3. I'm joined by the wonderful M&J. And, of course, our producer today is the amazing Gefilte Fish. Our admin, I believe, is in and out. That or it's Korea. I don't know who our observer is, but we'll be able to tell you that in just a moment.
Well, of course, yeah. First round of playoffs, definitely an exciting place. Well, the way that this actually works is it's kind of, I don't want to say seeding, but the teams are sort of seeded in based on how they did in the Swiss stage. Because mouz NXT went 3-1, they then have to face up against, like, if they end up winning this, they have to face up against Sinners in the next game, who went 3-0 kind of thing. And they seed in, the different invite teams and the teams that finish at the top of the Swiss stage. So it's kind of an interesting system. A hell of a pistol round to start off with, though, for Copenhagen Flames, as they put their foot down early. Couple of nice headshots. Surgeon with a trade. And that bomb is lost, and I don't think they're going to get it back.
Well, that's definitely a way to start. Shui left in a 1v4. I mean, he's good for 1. As we move into another engagement, we'll see if he can stop any of these members with an attack. He's going to have to hard clear candles while taking down Jabby. It's a nice kill for him into the 1v2. When looking at the angle of Roy, this is very doable for him. He knows Hooksey's on the close angle. He's good for another now into the 1v1. Hooksey swings out, but there's no kill yet. Both members dancing around one another's position. He continues to try and take the engagement. Shui just dancing, toying with his spray here. And as he tries to swing in, he takes the fight. Hooksey, he recovers, though. Keeps his team alive. But frankly, Josh, it shouldn't have come that close.
Well, so it ends up being incredibly messy at the end. Hooksey's done a brilliant job of just maintaining composure there and finding that final kill. That would have been a real kick in the teeth if they'd have lost that one. That is not the situation that you want to be in to start off the third and final map of such an important game. Now, we see a quick technical pause before we get back underway with this one. Everyone's still in the server, but what's happened here? Shui's dropped a hero AK over to Shane. I don't think it's any kind of misbite.
I haven't seen anything yet. Hopefully, it's just a brief one. As we see a disconnect, which could come through now. We'll have to see. Here's the bet. What do you think it is? What do you think the problem is? So a fun little mini game we could all play.
It's always like TeamSpeak issues or something, isn't it? That's always the go-to.
We're in the same team. We're in the same TeamSpeak as they are, so it can't be TeamSpeak issues.
Are they all there? Let's have a look.
They're all there. We have. That's the thing that I believe it's Nutella's, one of our producers, has been able to set up. He's a master. He's made just a massive TeamSpeak, which has everyone in.
Yeah,
it's kind of cool.
I could jump in and coach
No,
Coach,
you
I'm
absolutely.
the new coach now.
We're not allowed in. It's passworded in full knowledge that you would try something like that. And our observer, by the way, it's Chev today. I do apologize, Chev. Chev, actually. Now, here's a fun thing about Chev that you guys may not know, which is that Chev, you'd think the loudest people in a production team would be the casters. No, it's Chev. We hear him singing from the producer's mic. Wonderful person, Chev is though. So
He's a bit of a gamer as well, isn't he? I think he used to play back in the day.
Significantly better than we are.
Yeah, much better.
Yeah. So give Chev the love he deserves, and of course give our whole team the love they deserve. But Hooksy, he'll lose his head to Shuey, who certainly isn't feeling the love today. As Hooksy falls into a 5-on-4. Mouse go for control in mid. Don't have Donut presence though, as Jabby's good for the first. The flash helps him as Torsy's taken down. Shuey though, looking for a rotation. Out from main though, Nikidos reveals himself. Zyphon in rotation, good for Shuey, expecting the flank. It's JDC, that hero AK, unfortunately, it won't do much here. I mean, he gets 2 kills, it helps, but that's it.
Well, a solid round there from Copenhagen Flames. It was a bit of an investment from mouz NXT. They were hoping to take it, but as you say, we don't see too much there. No major heroics since Shuey's big clutch attempt in the pistol. Now going into this third, nothing behind them. Shane with that Kevlar on the Deagle. He had a little bit of extra money. Other than that, we won't see a lot. AWP already out here for Copenhagen Flames. It's actually a really interesting buy. Hooksy's dropped an AWP over. It's gone to Jabby instead of Nikidos. He's just down to the Deagle. Roy only on an MP9. This is completely bonkers. But I think what they're trying to do here is they know they're against an eco. They know that they're going to kind of win it regardless. And they want to set themselves up for the buy round. They just need to make sure that they don't make any major mistakes here and end up losing the weapons that they've spent so much money on. Beautiful shot from Shane.
That's definitely a way to set the tone. And Zyphon swings out. JDC, he's there to trade though. And as it falls into a 3-on-3. See what can be done in the defense of these members with Roy position rotating out. That nade lands right on them. Well, we expect a follow-up. No damage done yet. Torsey, see what he can do as and Thor in hand rotates back to T-spawn.
This is a 3-on-3 in a round that should never end up in a 3-on-3.
Yep.
Torsey with a rifle behind him as well. I'd quite like to see him drop it to Shane, to be honest. Bear in mind, Shane's got the Kevlar behind him. Unfortunately, he's just not in position to be able to receive it. But JDC with a big headshot. Roy times the peak onto Torsey. That gets the C4 dropped with 25 seconds left. He knows he can play his life here. Well-timed flashbang. JDC retrieves the bomb, but he can't get away with it. Shane has to swing, and we do see it go Copenhagen Flames' way. However, it's an incredibly expensive round. They lose 3 players. It comes way too close for comfort. And as I say, they're this kind of buying to prepare for the next doesn't work when you're taking as much damage as that.
Yeah, that is a really tough position for them to work their way out of. And honestly, I suspect that for mouz, they're going to be pretty happy moving into their buy round now. We've got that AWP out. We've got the AK surrounding it. We've got util on every other member. And for Copenhagen Flames, with limited money, I mean, they've got the investment, but with no money at all, if they lose it, they're in trouble. Nikidos, that definitely isn't the opening you want.
It's a big opening from JDC. He's actually had a really nice start to Ancient. Torsey took a lot of damage early from that Molotov, so this AWP is actually fairly vulnerable, but he's got himself posted on a nice angle towards that A-bomb site. Elsewhere, it's Roy getting aggressive towards this candle area. Big gap in the smoke to his right, so he could definitely work with this. Zerjan needs to be very careful, especially as he's made that step. Roy knows exactly where he is.
I like the swap with weapons there. Jabby, he gets that ult because he can play the wider angle over on A, and it means that Copenhagen Flames can kind of risk going for a 3-man stack in B. I mean, smokes are thrown by Hooksy, but they're sort of supporting smokes for now. And as we await the attack, Jabby, in playing such a wide angle, it means that the safe site, really, all it takes is 2 smokes to make it, well, just have to be a save. Unfortunately for him, there are no smokes over on mouz. There's only mollies. So we're going to see some fights taken fairly soon. And with 30 seconds left, we get ready for the attack. Players start shifting forward. Will Javi be able to stop them. There's that first flash. Doesn't hit him. Flicks up. No kill yet. Caught out by Shuey as he tries to run. And a very clean set. And like that, Torzi onto Hooksy. Moves us into the 4-2. They just got to get the hell out of there.
I don't know if Nikados has maybe had a lack of confidence with it today, or if Jabby's taking up new responsibilities, but there's been several rounds so far this series where Jabby's actually taken up the AWPing duties over Nikados. It's not even that like he's the secondary AWPer, it's that he's actually taken the AWP instead of him. It's kind of a weird one. Either way, 4 versus 1. Zyphon desperate to try and stay alive here. Timing just about blesses him as he slips his way into the T-spawn, and it looks like he might actually be able to survive in this one. But his teammates don't have money to buy around him in the next, so he's going to disguise himself as a bush. Hope that he can carry this M4 into round number 5.
Here's the thing. I mean, that was a really, really one-sided round there, wasn't it? I mean, mouz, they keep 4 players alive. They just out-position Copenhagen Flames. I love the fact the Flames go straight for a timeout, though. It's a kind of good reason, because you need to remember that Momentum is single-handedly won and lost either of these sides their maps. And at 16-13, 16-12, this is going to be a long one. This is going to be a close one, and they need to try and savor every round they can.
Well, a little timeout to just give them some time to discuss it. Talk about what's going on. You can see these chats always just look so constructive. There's no anger. Yeah, we've had so much experience with Counter-Strike where you're in a team setting, maybe things aren't going your way, you call a timeout, there's anger, there's frustration. Sometimes it's the other way around. Things are going good and people start to maybe let up a little bit. They start to get a little too happy, a little too silly. At this kind of level, when there's this much on the line, it's full focus, it's full composure from both sides throughout. A brilliant position from Hooksy, but almost his smoke grenade curses him a little bit there. No one pushes through it, and he gives away his aggressive position, so maybe he has to take a step back from this one.
With aggression in candles once again, Xerxian into peek into Roy, sees him coming. Oh, it's messy, and while he gets the kill, Zyphon reveals the M4 as he instantly trades. For Shane, already fighting for control in A. Does he shift out into Jabby? Jabby reveals himself with a quick deagle shot, but he doesn't follow it up yet. Instead, he just gets the hell out of there. And they'll wait to see who can hold and who could really win that initial aim duel for what would be a momentum. For Hooksy, as he hides in Donut, little does he know, Shuey is about to be ready to take a fight with him, and he does so with the bomb. Molly into mid should alert Hooksy to the fact they're coming. Is he quick enough to win the aim duel? Shuey hard swings into him. Very nice kill from them there, leaving it all really onto Jabby to stop this push, and as he does so, has to just hide for now. Smokes go off, he swings out with the assistance of that flash, and as they swing into Nikados, another kill comes their way. Without Jabby's trade, Jabby, he's just got to get out of there. A massive util usage from mouz there to bring them this round, and while Zyphon's good for JDC, it still feels like silver linings as their retake hasn't really started yet.
Well, Jabby actually in a brilliant position to do some damage here, but now he's given away his position. I think that's kind of it for him now. Big headshot from Shuey, and there you go, actually doubles down. That's pretty incredible. 2 on the board here for mouz NXT. They recover this early deficit that they've taken very nicely indeed. They will almost certainly be able to tie it up as well, as there's no money in the bank here for Copenhagen Flames. And I love the fact that these odds are really, really kind of tied up now. They are slightly leaning towards mouz NXT since they've taken these last couple of rounds, kind of bringing things back to even, and even means mouz are slight favourites, and that's kind of how this series started as well. Nikados really aggressive here. Remember, they're just on an eco, so they're looking to play safety in numbers, and there you go, works out nicely. Hooksy, big kill.
JDC as Molly actually finishes off Nikados, making sure he can't save the gun instantly. And I mean, it's a nice positioning. Over on B, sorry, they've secured the site. In the back line, Xerxian's able to get the man advantage with a kill into Hooksy. And for Copenhagen Flames, it becomes a matter of saving. I mean, saving a weapon would help. I mean, saving 2 weapons would be even better. And Shuey turns at just the right moment as Roy's taken down. It leaves both Zyphon and Jabby to go and hide and pray that mouz don't come for them too.
Well, Chappie's got that AK. If he can hold on to it, I think he'll be pretty happy. Despite the fact that they're on a buy in the next, like, it'd be cool. Bring an AK when you're on your CT side. They're like gold dust, so he's going to be feeling pretty comfortable right now that no one's hunting for him. For mouz NXT, it's the bigger picture, the long game. They don't care if Jabby wants to hold on to an AK here. They want to build their own economy. They don't want to risk losing their own weapons, potentially giving Zyphon another one. They want to build up their own bank accounts. And there you go. $8,000 behind Torzi, Shuey and JDC around that 7K mark. Shane there with them too. Zerjan not far behind with 5. So plenty of money to fall back on. And they're going to be feeling really comfortable right now with the whole situation that they're in. It's 3-3, but they've definitely got the advantage.
Absolutely right. And with this advantage, I suspect we are going to see a really, really level and clean round here. I'm fully expecting there to be a... And well, what looks like a rush in mid. Torzi good for the first. Hooksy, he does trade. Roy's a volley shuts down Torzi. That was an insane position there, and as Zershid follows it up, it's good for another before Hooksy trades. And the trading from Pinnacle Flames is insane here. Jabby, like on to Shane, should be the decider. The JDC in a 1v3. Now, I really think this is actually going to be a fairly close round here, actually. JDC, a man who has proven to be very, very strong in these last couple of maps, and well, actually, since the conception of the team. And as he kicks out. And some people think that JDC stands for John DeCastro. It actually stands for John doing clutches. So it could be in a pretty strong spot here.
That was good, Kremer. That was smooth.
Thanks. I kind of mumbled that entire play-by-play segment while I was desperately trying to think of something witty. But it's okay. Because JDC, moving into this 1v3, still making a lot of noise in mid. He doesn't know where Jabby is. However, timing may favour him as he swings out. Well, that was messy. Bit of an anticlimax, don't you think?
Yeah, maybe we should strip him of his new nickname. Maybe he's still got time to redeem himself, though. Another probably, I don't know, 22, 23 rounds, something like that, to redeem himself. We could definitely see a clutch later on. 4-3, though. Still plenty of money here for mouz NXT to invest. So we see the big guns come out again. AK's on 4. Torzi with that. Oh, plenty of utility behind them as well. Copenhagen Flames, though. A similar investment of their own. Nikodos with that sniper. Good utility. Forcing that attack back. Ooh.
Don't moment as they hide. Zershid prepares a follow-up. As they do so. See the rotation of Torzi. Trying to hold position.
Roy plays in. Is that called Jaguar?
It's the first part of it's Candles. The part of it closer to B is called Jaguar.
Right, okay. And then what about the bit over towards the A side with all the candles in it? I thought that was candles.
No, that was divided.
I'm learning.
You're learning. It's all right.
I'll be honest.
That's all right. Well, welcome to a new map. As Shane and Torzi exchange blows. Shane good for the first. And as Torzi now comes up through B main, would he be able to catch out Zyphon? He hasn't seen them yet. Instead, I think for Torzi, he just needs the rotation of Shane. He needs Shane to join him so they can A, retrieve the bomb, and B, take a fight with Roy. As they slowly shift out. Haven't spotted anyone yet. Nika does. Called to action now, as he'll hear the rotation. Will he be able to stop the bomb plant? As he holds this angle. Up in hands. Shane, ready to cross. And with that missed shot by Nikodos, punished by Shane there. That's uncharacteristic, to say the least, to see a missed shot like that by Nikodos. And, well, for Torzi, he can now start going aggressive himself. He holds the angle, he sees the shoulder peak. Missed shot, though, means that Roy can get a bit closer to this position of the young Hungarian. As he hides behind Xbox. There's the Bookshires coming. Roy for the first, Shane for the second. 1v1 for Shane now. And Roy looks to swing into him, but Shane takes the 1v2. Bringing mouz their equalizer, and more importantly, bringing a massive blow to the economy, Copenhagen Flames.
Well, back level again. You see those rounds bounce off of each other as they trade 1 for 1. There's no money left in the bank of Copenhagen Flames. There surely has to be an eco. I have no idea how Nikodos has missed that shot, to be honest, but it's one that really costs them.
You see, just a really, really strong 1v2 from Shane. I'm looking forward to seeing if mouz can follow it up here. As against an eco, this should be a very, very even split where mouz should take this in a one-sided fashion. See Copenhagen Flames at their full bar, and I reckon they probably win it. This is going to be 8-7, and I reckon 64. Actually, no, I reckon overtime here, Josh. That's my prediction.
You think overtime? You're calling overtime 8 rounds in?
Yep.
Wow. Alrighty then.
8-7 and then overtime. That's my prediction.
Ooh.
Well, here's the thing. Ancient's kind of turning into being a CT-sided map. But here, I think that both teams have such a strong T side that it will just be even. While they continue to shut down these members, Nikodos, I mean, he's going to merit an AK, but does that matter for much here?
Man advantage for mouz NXT is obviously there's no way of Copenhagen Flames getting back into this. So once again, we just kind of see this save where they say, right, let's just hold on to this AK. We'll bring it into the next round. It's really not the end of the world. What that does mean is that they'll have an AK in the buy moving into this next, but they're on a buy round anyway, so that AK would have just been an M4. I imagine Nikodos dropped it over to somebody else to make room for an AWP.
Oh, switching on to Siphon. It's an opening, and like that, it falls into a 5-4 scoreline with Copenhagen Flames moving to their investment. I mean, they can afford an investment, but the reality is they're blind down to 0 once again. And I like the fact taking a timeout because they need to realize that they can fall into the trap where they buy, lose it, down to an eco, it counts as double, back to a buy, and if they lose that, it continues to just spiral. The Copenhagen Flames, I'm looking forward to seeing if they win this. Can they hold that momentum? Because as you can see from the round count at the top, mouz have woken up these last couple.
Yeah, I like the way that this one started, to be honest. When we kind of dive into the previous maps of this series so far, we saw a really one-sided start on Mirage. That was kind of mouz just taking the reins, running away with that one. They went like 8-1 up, and then it ended up being a close game. We saw kind of a similar affair on Vertigo as well. We saw like a 6-1 lead from Copenhagen Flames. Then it tied up, then it ended up being this closer affair as well. Whereas here on Ancient, we're going back and forth from the get-go. It's like a perfect third map. Neither of these teams can pull ahead. Incredible opening shot from Torzi, though, and that's seriously a way to get going.
That's kind of really way heavy on the Copenhagen Flames members, knowing that's a shot to start. And, well, with Shane also falling in the process, though, it means that it is only an equalizer. As Zertian has a missed shot by Jabby. I don't think he's going to get an opportunity like that again there as he backs off to CT. Zertian, brave of him, to be honest, to rotate back to mid as Nikodos realizes he has to hold this ace like solo, at least for now. mouz get ready to burst through the smoke onto the site, and as they do so, Torzi already holding the angle now. This Battle of the Orpers is so entertaining, and as he waits for the swing, that smoke, it does slowly fade. Both members holding one another. Who reacts first? Oh, it's Torzi, but he overlegs him. He sees, I think he saw the barrel of Jabby as well. So as that molly goes down, he buys himself a lot of space. His flashes allow him to get out. And look at the rotation he's caused for Copenhagen Flames. None of them on this B site, and all it takes is Zertian to get a wiggle on it, and like that, they've secured a position, they've secured a bomb plant. And for Copenhagen Flames, I mean, a 4-man save, it becomes a absolutely real possibility.
I suppose it could do, yeah. They've kind of thrown all their eggs into one basket. I don't think it'll be a 4-man save. I think Roy surely tries to contest this site, and if he's unsuccessful, maybe they take a step back from it. Fires off some shots, does some damage, but no kills found. Now Zertian being nice and aggressive. Beautifully timed flash, though, Roy. That is such a good call. Xiphon in there to support. The flash couldn't have been better. And now with the man advantage, this retake, it's coming through.
JDC is good for one before he too is traded in. Zyphon is able to deliver, leaving Torzi in a 1v3 without, well, with the smoke preventing the bomb plant. Jabby taps it, as does Zyphon. Missed shot by Torzi. Does he hit the follow-up? No, he doesn't. He gets the hell out of there. He saves the AWP, but he plays the economic game as Copenhagen Flames, like that, they equalize at 5-5. Really strong position out from the Flames. We'll have to see what on earth they can do on their reinvestment. As for now, there's a bit of damage done from the members of mouz, in which mouz, all things considered, with a very, very strong buy here. Saving that AWP means that everyone has a util, fully util at that. For Copenhagen Flames, winning around with 3 players left, of course, the worst one is the economy. Granted, it more stabilizes it. It takes it off life support rather than giving it something to flourish with, but it means that if they win this round, they're in a really comfortable spot. But mouz, Torzi, boosted up, waits for the first kill, waits for the first chance at advantage. But no follow-up yet. It's down to the remaining members of Copenhagen Flames to deliver.
Torzi on the angle. No one peeking into him just yet, but there it comes. Unfortunately, it's accompanied by a flash, so he has to just fire blindly. Cross his fingers, hope for the best, and nothing comes through. Scoreline 5-5. And it doesn't really get much closer than this. Both teams expended a lot of their utility early, especially Copenhagen Flames. They're now in a tough position where they've got 2 smokes and a HE left to deploy. There's a minute left on this clock. There's still an execution to come. They're really relying on the firepower now because that utility just isn't there. It's not available. For mouz, they've got an interesting wrap in play. It looks like it's going to be an A split. And only Jabby to defend.
Well, with Zershan swinging out, Hooksy shuts him down. Jabby now has to dive to the other side of this position. There's Jabby and Hooksy, the wombo combo. It works perfectly. Shui, the IGL, left in a 1v4. Dances around the smoke. He realizes he has to try and, by some miracles, scavenge a bomb plant here. And while he tries to tap down the first member, Zyphon at the distance will be able to just kill him. With the Copenhagen Flames going 6-5 up, 2 rounds on the bounce mean that their money really starts looking pretty strong here, as mouz have to look almost mournfully at some pistols for what could be their buy down to 2k.
Well, they've taken the lead once again, 6-5, and yeah, I mean, there was money here for mouz NXT, but certainly not enough to go for a proper investment. So you see that buy down to $2,000. They kind of have a couple of weapons here and there, probably not enough to break these defenses, though. With Copenhagen Flames, well, they are looking like they're in a strong position. Hooksy, I have no idea how he gets away with that one. The flash pops right through the smoke, right in front of his face. I thought they were going to overwhelm him there, and instead he's managed to slip away and now has some support from his teammate.
JDC, he knows they're coming. Can he hold them as Jabby sees the swing? Now he catches out Shui there. Really strong position. Shane also taken down. Means that it's Torzi tries to tap down Nikados. Yeah, waits the follow-up. JDC onto Hooksy. Jabby onto Torzi. Falls down to JDC in the 1v4. As he gets ready to swing up. Does he have any chance here as the Flames? This will be their 7th, and honestly, it looks like they've seemed to have found their stride. They've found their rhythm. And for JDC, a bit of damage would be great. Hey, maybe if he kills Nikados, he can save the AWP. But it's a tall order to swing into Nikados, and from the looks of it, he may not have the timing to do so. As goes out, Nikados gets the kill. And for Copenhagen Flames, that'll be 7.
Well, now a little bit of a gap established, but that gap could potentially just close. I mean, mouz have now got another buy behind them. The AK's out. They've got 4. Should be a 5th that comes out from JDC. There you go. So no AWP in play. 5 rifles set up. On the other side of things, the double AWP setup. 2 AKs as well they've managed to retrieve from previous rounds. As Copenhagen Flames look to try and win the half. They can take this one. They win the half at the very least. There's potential for them to extend that lead further. If they lose it, then it's still anyone's for the taking. Jabby going for the aggressive pick. Can't quite find it. It's a fast flick. It's a fast reaction, but it's not accurate enough. Now with a minute 30 left to tick, a lot of this util being deployed early once again, and it finally merits Zyphon that first opening kill.
JDC holds in position. He swings out, but only to be damaged by Roy. And as Niko's molly is what finishes the job. Xerxia doesn't expect the player from behind him. No, he doesn't. Zyphon gets another kill, leaving HooXi to shut down Shui. And the to and fro from Copenhagen Flames here is just perfect, with 4 kills without even taking a point of damage. There's a round without taking a point of damage. That's really bloody strong, Josh.
It is, and there you go. They've won the half. Now they should be able to take another as well. This should actually be a 9th for them. Now, what they need to make sure they don't do is they need to make sure they don't get complacent. You know, we kind of saw on Vertigo where they had like a really good lead. They were looking like the significantly better side. And then they started to get a bit complacent. Some of the mistakes started to come through. They were having some problems, and that's where it ended up tying up and actually coming a hell of a lot closer than it really should have done. Good little nade stack. Doesn't actually do any damage, but certainly could have. Now they just need to be careful. Good place, Molotov. Does do a little bit of damage onto Xerxia, and that gives away his position, but the pistol's overwhelmed.
Oh, totally. Good for 2.
Oh, no.
Has the follow-up now as JDC. He aggresses to the back line. There's aggression onto Nikodos. He has to try and hide it. I mean, he's good for the first member. HooXi tries to follow it up, but Shui's waiting for them. Into the 4-on-2 when Nikodos is going to be swung by 2 members. Good for 1. There's the trade. It's all down to Jabby now. Open hands. Good for 1 as he swings out. He knows there'll be a second to worry about. That smoke destined to land over in Cheetah. As I swing into him, damage is done. Jabby opts for the AK here, understandably so. First smoke goes down. JDC. It's him and Xerxia to get the kill. The 1-2 works perfectly. And for mouz, they make it 6 off the back of just pistols.
Yeah, what a ridiculous round for them to be winning. Copenhagen Flames have just made some big mistakes there. They've gone for the nade stack towards the B ramp. Then, off the fact that it's not kind of merited them anything, they've assumed there's no one there. Those pistols have just been able to get up close, overwhelm the double up setup. That's kind of one of the major issues that comes into play when you are wielding 2 snipers. Pistols, if you miss your first shot, that's it. You're screwed. There's no coming back from there. And that's exactly what we see. 8-6, really good chance here for mouz NXT to have an 8-7 half, which, to be honest, before the last round started, I thought that was impossible. Nice aggressive angle here from HooXi. I quite like this, actually, especially with the support from Jabby. He can take first contact, and they really shouldn't be expecting HooXi here.
You see, JDC swinging into him. Oh, that's clean. Jabby shifts out. Open hand. JDC taken down. Goes into a 4-on-4. Jabby fully blinded by the jumping member there. Forces him back. Again, like that. The continuation means Torzy shuts him down. And the fact that Jabby couldn't get a single kill there is going to weigh heavy on their psyche. Xerxia's flank is perfect onto Zyphon, leaving Roy in a 1v3. And they bump into one another. I mean, he shuts down Shane. I mean, it helps, sure. Torzy, though, hoping for timing, shuts him down. And mouz, that'll be 7 in a really skillful round by Torzy and Xerxia there.
What Torzy's done there at the end as well is just so cool. He fires off the bait shot to actually bait the swing. He's saying, right, I'm going to shoot. He's going to swing into me thinking he can kill me in the second that it takes me to pull back the bolt. But I know that I'm quick enough to find it regardless. Yeah, really, really solid stuff there. Yeah. 8-7, as close as halves really come. mouz NXT now looking to maybe take the pistol and take control once again. It's been a little while since they've been in the lead. And see if they can do so. For Copenhagen Flames, 3 players with Kevlar, 2 with the utility. So quite a heavy util setup. On the other side of things, it's Shui, a kit and Julies. I love it.
I don't know why. I've never liked seeing Julies on a pistol round. It's never made me happy.
With a kit as well, it's crazy because he's playing like really aggro, and that's the last place you want to be with a kit. But I love Julies. I love the Julies, Kremer. Let's get it. Julies.
It's okay, Josh. I mean, we'll see if they work for him. Over on Copenhagen Flames, so we've got 2 smokes, a molly, 2 flashes split between Nikodos and HooXi. They're preparing for what looks like just a straight hit onto way. As they do so, will mouz be able to stop it? As with such a forwarded angle on candles, the reality is the only man who can begin to save them is Shane, who, while is good, can he win a 1v4 on his own?
Oh, there we go. Roy
big opening headshot does give them a chance to get onto the site, but it's all an elaborate ruse. They're actually heading over towards A instead. That's where Shane's trying to defend. Fires off a couple of shots. It's not the head that he's looking for, though. Torzy instead finds it. But that is a shame. That is a real shame. Now the Julies arrive at the party, and Shuey could do some serious damage, but not before Torzy goes massive. 3 kills found. Shuey finishes things off. Torzy for the 4K there, and it could have been the ace. That is nuts.
Insane round by Torzy. Now, once Shuey whiffed every shot and died, I thought, okay, it's over. Copenhagen Flames win this, but no. Torzy, he rises up and he delivers. What an insane performance from him there. And as he single-handedly brings mouz there, right? He was on for the ace there. Literally, if it wasn't for a single bullet of Shuey with those dual barrettes, that would have been his ace. And for mouz, as they now go 8-8, I mean, look at the buy from Copenhagen Flames. They've gone for the hero AKs on 2 members. Uxie has util to assist them. If this fails, then straight to an eco, and mouz straight to 10.
I do actually prefer buys like this. In a round like this, rather than everybody going for Deagles and Tech 9s, I do actually prefer it when you have maybe 2 players, either just 2 random players, and it's dictated by economy, or 2 players that are maybe having a bit of a weaker game that say, yep, we'll drop AKs over to 2 of the stars. Roy, definitely one of the stars that's shining today. He's having an incredible series. Nikados, always man of the hour, always a player that's putting up big numbers, and see what kind of impact they can have with these premium rifles in hand. Round number 17, this one will dictate who takes the lead here. With a minute already expended on this clock, not a lot of movement made by either of these sides.
Util starts being deployed. They keep him back for now, as they continue to just expend util over onto B. Nikados hiding in this angle. Is they ready to swing in? Wow. Zertian good for the first. Zertian falls to Jabby though, and as it falls into a 4-on-4, Jabby retrieves that AK for now, and like that, you see the members of mouz have to await the engagement. Smokes go down. Hoopsie doesn't swing out yet though. Instead, through the smoke, damage done to JDC. Toss it through the smoke, no damage at all as JDC hits so low on HP now, just with 11. And a Xiphon now ready for the flank. Has Shane to worry about. Shane, he doesn't clear a Xiphon. This is going to be such a powerful flank now. Torzy needs to be careful of this, and they sit with the util out. The flashes go off, and Xiphon reveals himself with no kill, though. That just invigors them to push as they swing to the site. First man I've seen. Hooksy taken down. Trained there by Jabby through the smoke. Good for 2. Roy there for the 3rd. It's all as a Torzy in a 1v3, and he's just out of time. He gets the hell out of there. Jabby saving the round there, even though he didn't even have armor.
That's a big round for Copenhagen Flames, especially how it started, to be honest. When Zertian got aggressive towards the B ramp, ended up catching out the timing and finding that first kill onto Nikados, I thought they were going to take that one. I'll be perfectly honest. That was a really solid start from them. But no, it all just crumbled from there. Copenhagen Flames are able to take the reins once again. We see a quick technical pause before we get back underway. We have seen a few technical pauses so far this series, but they've all been solved really quickly. So hopefully it's another one of those super speedy ones.
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. What do you think in technical timeouts? What would be your go-to reason? Like, considering how common we see, I think toilet is usually our most common one, isn't it? So you can no longer say TeamSpeak issues. They're all the same one.
Yeah, is going to the toilet a technical issue though? Can you call a tech pause for that?
It's certainly not tactical.
Well, yeah, it's definitely not tactical, but
so it has to be technical.
I feel like there's rules around technical pauses that like you can only call them if there's like an actual tech pause.
Is there?
We can hear. I thought so. I didn't think you could just call them for fun.
I think you could say. I mean, so if someone needs the toilet, they need the toilet. You can't exactly stop it, can you?
I suppose. We'll find out. I'll ask someone. But we can hear little clicks in the chat. I don't know if you guys can hear the little clicks in the chat. I presume you can.
We need to whip out the rulebook. This is quite an elaborate thing. Does going to the toilet count warrants technical timeout?
Because, right, if I was going to the toilet, I've got a wireless headset. I can wear it to the toilet with me. The range, it still works. I live in a bungalow, right?
Yeah.
So I could just have a tactical pause. whilst in my technical pause. Because I'm weird, I've got my headset on, I'm still talking to the team.
They hear you do everything, though.
Yeah, but that's fine.
Is that the sacrifice you're willing to make?
Yeah, sacrifice I'm willing to make. And even if I wasn't, I'm pretty sure my mic and most mics have like a little like background noise suppressor thing, so it would recognize it as background noise anyway.
Maybe that is. That's exactly what it is.
Crummer, we're men. We
Yes.
like urinals standing next to strangers.
Look, you need to remember, I have the bladder of iron. I can wait. But like, I know you have a very weak one, so I assume it would be you're probably the problem.
Yeah, I would be the problem.
Yeah.
Oh.
This is what years of drinking does to you, Josh. Now you need the toilet all the time.
Yeah, it's a real shame. Torsey, big trade there. He's the only man with a rifle in play, though, so he certainly needs to be careful and stay alive here. And unfortunately, that element of care has not come in. Roy doubling down, 2 beautiful headshots, and Copenhagen Flames should be able to comfortably take this one. Ooh.
Roy for 1, Shane to trade, and he leaves Shane in a 1v3. With low HP on Roy, this is really doable. He's his first member. Granted, he gets killed instantly, and Zypher takes his teammate with him. There's consolation prize, isn't it? Let's go Copenhagen Flames go 10-8 up. I worry that this is where they run away with it.
Zyphon's messing with Roy's KD.
He is.
Saying, no, your KD's too good.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit.
Zyphon was doing really well as well, wasn't he?
Yeah, he's sort of picked it up. He definitely has. Look at that, though, from Roy. Great read. I think he's actually heard the man running in from behind him. So, beautiful stuff. 2K in the bank for every single man here on mouz NXT. So, it's kind of a no-brainer on the save. Zerjan with a single flashbang. He's going to deploy it. We'll see a 4-man swing. I'm quite excited to see this. There's only one man holding, though. It's Nikodos. He's always the player that just holds the deep ramp, waiting for any kind of aggression. Spots a shoulder. That's his cue to swing and actually gets 2 for 1. I don't even think he was expecting to hit another one there, but he's found both. 3 on the board, and that is that's pretty solid from him.
He makes it 3 before he eventually falls, and for Roy, I mean, the Mac 10 is able to get a massive cash bonus just on finishing the job on these members. A really, really strong opening, and honestly, I'm looking forward to seeing if mouz can now stop them. Now that mouz whip out this full buy, we see the rifles, the AUG, it's all out, and as the banner appears on your screen about Trusty, remember that when speed is the name of the game, you don't need to let your playing experience be disrupted by slow payments. You can choose Trusty to make your payments so quickly from account to account. With no cards, app download, or registration, try making payments with Trusty at pinnacle.com/odds, where you'll find the latest in-play offerings for Copenhagen Flames versus mouz NXT. Always remember to sport should be fun, so only play what you can afford to lose, and keep safe on full terms and conditions will apply. As Jabby opens 2, it's going to be a straight hit to the ace site, with Zypher now sitting by square, waiting for the follow-up. That flash it goes off, it doesn't quite deter him though, as Torsy's there to trade. 3 on 4. Roy looking to follow up though, and as he holds the smoke, this now is going to prove to be very problematic there, as Torsy seen as he tries to fight them, as he runs away. Damage done to Shane means that, like that, Copenhagen Flames are going to make it 12.
Crummer, have you ever sat there for like 3 weeks waiting for a G2A payout?
Yeah, actually, I got a game with my friends. I got like golf with your friends. My friends, a couple of I think back in November last year. I've still not got the refund from it.
Right.
so yeah, it's been fairly slow.
Yeah, plenty of.
Is this a follow-up?
Plenty of those stories. Those stories. But yeah, with Trustly, you can trust them. It's kind of in their name, isn't it?
Yeah, it's. Would be ironic if it wasn't. Luckily, you can. Yeah, you can trust Trustly. And yeah, Pinnacle have been wonderful enough to add them to their platform. Remember, if you go to pinnacle.com/odds, that is, you can go check them out. And have you used Pinnacle before, Josh?
I mean, I feel bad for saying no, but no, I actually haven't. I've been on the website. I've kind of zoomed around and had a look, but I haven't actually placed a bet there, no.
Well, I mean, we can't really do it on most Pinnacle stuff because we're covering it, but on the stuff we're not, I recommend you do. It's kind of fun. I like it. It's got a really nice UI.
Okay.
It feels like you're in a fighter jet, and you have like the HUD. It's really cool.
That's a weird analogy, but all right.
I like the Pinnacle UI. It's really cool.
Well, nice kill from Roy. He's actually just found so many frags just from holding that position. He hasn't had to move a muscle. He just holds the same angle every round. mouz NXT in so many of these in these rounds where, because they're on their CT side, they're on a bit of a funky investment. They've got aggressive, and Roy's been able to punish shit. He's currently sitting on 18 kills. He's looking to extend that further. He's probably going to be the first man on the server to hit double digits. JDC. Oh, timing. Oh, it's so unfortunate, but how does Hooksy whiff that?
Well, Hooksy falls JDC. That's going to be a still man advantage for Copenhagen Flames thanks to the trade of Roy. As Jabby comes out of mid, he sees all of them. Quick clean up, and mouz, their CT side is looking really shaky now. Shane once again has to save, but as we'll see, Copenhagen Flames now leads 12, or what will be 13 to 9? 13 to 8, sorry. I had a bit of a moment there, Josh. 13 to 9. Jabby just running out, shooting everything he can, making sure it's clearing. As it is, I think the Flames, this is where they progress, really. I think mouz, unless a miracle happens, I think their Hail Mary just hasn't really worked.
I didn't even realise there was a little corner here, to be honest.
You learn something new every day.
Yeah, Ancient's kind of one of those maps where there's all sorts of weird geometry and all sorts of weird ambience. And I'm in two minds about it. And I'm actually going to ask you this question. Do you prefer, as somebody that's... I think you've been playing CS for roughly as long as I have.
A very long time.
Yeah. Are you somebody that prefers the old style of Counter-Strike maps where I know that partially it was for just performance, but also for that competitive integrity of just like no stupid ambient noises, no needless foliage. It's all just like pretty bare bones basic, like old Cache and old Nuke and maps like that. Or do you prefer all of this kind of like cool ambient stuff and like funky graphics?
For new players, my preference is I prefer whatever keeps the longevity of the game. And for the kind of cooler looking maps with a bit of ambience, it's what will keep a new player playing. And for me, that's enough.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I agree with that.
My biggest gripe at the moment is how Valve games aren't designed for solo queuing.
Oh, that was a bit of a mess.
That's only for another moment though. But as Xerxes shuts down Nikados, it falls into a 4-on-4.
That was one of the messiest starts to a round I think we've seen all day.
I don't know how it's ended equal. I won't lie.
Well, not only has it ended equal, but somehow Xerxes actually in T spawn. He's managed to slip through Roy. Roy is now on the B site alone, so he's going to make the call for the rotation. But Xerxes in T spawn, so he's there to cut off the rotation. This round has been a complete shambles. And it seems that mouz NXT have somehow managed to jam the advantage in it. Xerxes with the molly manages to funnel Zyphon through the left-hand side of his smoke where he's got a major advantage. And now Roy coming in from the B site. Xerxes not expecting it, but he's done enough in the round. He's gone above and beyond.
With that, mouz, they make it 9. And at long last, they were able to make it 9. They really struggled on the CT side. The fact they've been able to find a couple of bits of momentum now really works for their favor. We see 3 players left standing. The double up setup comes out as Shane and Torsey split it between them. Let's see what Copenhagen Flames can do next, though, as they move into a bit of a force by their own.
Oh. Back to the cams, a little bit of a timeout.
This is another question, all right?
Go on.
If you're mouz, who would you put as your poster boy? Because Torsey's sick, Shane is sick, Xerxes is sick, JDC is sick.
I thought you were talking about looks, but no, you're talking about who's the best player.
No, well,
I thought
it's
you were
like,
talking about
like
physical poster boy.
You have like your physical poster boy, your star player, the guy. Because I know that
No,
on
I
the
mean,
mouse sports, it's kind of rocks, isn't it?
On a poster. Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah.
All of these guys that look good on a poster, though.
Yeah,
they're all good-looking fellas.
It's kind of gamers. It's kind of bad, isn't it? How they get to be good at CS and look good. Like,
what I think is so cool about this mouz NXT roster, though, and I think I pointed it out when we first casted them, is the fact that mouz have always been, other than really, really early back in the day mouz, we're talking like 2008, 2009, when they were a German organization. Yeah, Source mouz, where they were a German organization, they always had German teams. They have historically always had these mixed European teams. And they've always been one of the only tier 1 sides that have kind of consistently been able to maintain really, really good mixed European rosters, where they'll just have players from all over the place. And the fact that they've created an academy where they've, with the same principle, they've got like 2 Poles, a Hungarian, an Israeli, and a German, and it works. Like the chemistry is there, and it's very evidently working. I think it's just really cool. And I think mouz should really be sort of patting themselves on the back and commended for that, because no other organization in Counter-Strike seems to be able to do that.
That'd be absolutely right. For a 4-on-4 now, Pinnacle Flames, they go for the execution onto B. Now let's see if this unison on mouz will work, as Roy is caught out by JDC. Zyphon about to swing into trade. He 2 falls, though. We're now into the 4-on-2. We've got JDC awaiting the swing of Jabby. There's another kill for him. JDC going huge. And as you mentioned, the European side, they just know how to find talent, don't they? John De Castro, or more join the clutch, as we have Pinnacle Flames now only 3 rounds separating them and mouz.
There's another Trustly banner on your screen, Grammar.
That's another
Online
one.
banking payments is the bomb. Pay with Trustly. I like that.
Do we say is the bomb, like with a bit more passion, because it is in caps?
Bomb.
It is the bomb. Trust the armor for
more
people,
enthusiasm, Grammar. It can't be that monotone. It's the bomb.
Here's the thing, right? With is the bomb. I don't know. Maybe I just can't sound hype in that language with that sort of wording. I'm a weird man when it comes to excitement, Josh. That being I have none. I'm an old man. Nothing excites me anymore.
You should go into bingo calling.
that could be a new path for me. There's Shane. He sits behind his box. He swings out. There's Cypher to fall. And as Jabby's good for the first, Torsey trades. Roy to follow it up. 3-on-3 now. Shuey down lurking in mid. He knows full well that Roy's going to be somewhere nearby. As Nikidos shuts down JDC. Suddenly it looks a bit scary. Torsey, he needs to go huge here. And if there was a time to call him to action, now it'd be at Roy. This flank is perfect, but is Shuey expected to be this close? Yes, he is. 2, or now 3-on-1, and Torsey just gets the hell out of there. Saving the AWP, I mean, it'll help, but the remaining members of mouz don't have much money split between them, and Pinnacle Flames taking 14. I start to worry for them a bit.
That's a real shame. You're kind of expecting the retake to come in there from mouz, and then you realise that Shuey's trying to catch off a rotating player from the B site, and you say, oh, wow, okay, yeah, they've kind of already given up on this round. They're already making the save call. Hooksy, I'm not sure if that's a little bit of like a prediction, like not necessarily a prediction, but like knowledge based on where they've placed the bomb. He knows that he'd survive there, but taking 98 damage is a dangerous game. That takes balls of steel, and both players stay alive, so they'll carry their weapons into the next. So really, really solid stuff there from Copenhagen Flames. As let's try and close out this game, and I reckon they might be able to. Shuey's looking a bit blurry.
His camera's had a drink. That's how close this game's been. And, well, there are many members of mouz. I actually see this getting a bit closer. Who do you think wins this, Josh? Do you see a comeback from mouz, or do you see the Flames winning this?
Oh, I am.
He's made a runner.
So yeah, Torsey said right. Torsey said, "Do you think I've got time for a wee?" And they've gone, "Yeah, go on then."
So just having a nap. Yeah. This is. I think we might have a longer pause there. He's actually going to have a nap. Fair enough. This is a. They're quite relaxed on mouz, considering they are 14-10 down.
Yeah, I mean, it might even. No, it can't be fatigue. They've played one series today. It can't be. These guys are hardened professionals.
Yep, they have been pummeled into the 3 best of 3 a day mindset, and they are more than happy to follow it up. And what?
There's his Red Bull Cup.
Oh, I didn't see it. Can we go back to Jabby? Can we go back to Jabby? If that's
Harry
possible.
Potter pop Funkos as well.
He's
covered it with his arm. Jabby, move your arm. Someone go tell him.
I think I see it.
See the bottom of it?
Yeah, that is really cool. Are you sure it's not just a can?
No, it's definitely. At first I thought it was a can. See, that's a cup.
Oh my god!
You see how it's shaped? It's different. It's definitely a cup. I'm telling you, it's a cup.
I have no clue. That is incredible. I'm so impressed. And well, I suspect this may be a longer pause. So hopefully we can fix it as quick as possible.
Danes always have really like neat and tidy bedrooms.
Well, here's the thing: if I know I'm going on camera, I tidy my room. Well,
Yeah,
I tidy what the camera's going to see.
It's all so neat with the shelves and the little figures and stuff. It's always just.
Yours is pretty neat, though.
I suppose it's not like that though. And we're on camera every day. I make it look nice for that. I suppose if you're a player, maybe you do the same. I don't know.
Yeah. If we go back to JDC as well, he's lined his shelves with LEDs. That looks really cool. Anyways, well, we've had enough of what I guess is right move. We've now got CS on our hands as Roy sat by the smoke. He's going to hit Xerxes with his aggression in mid, or in candles even. To commit to it yet, though, as I said, mouz, remembering that if they lose this, then they've probably lost the series with no money. Copenhagen Flames resetting their opponents while simultaneously hitting 15 is an absolute best case scenario for them.
Oh. Smoke goes down. Roy still playing his position that he's been playing throughout the whole of the half so far, just on the other side of it. Xerxes needs to make sure he doesn't overstay his welcome. He's in a good position now, but once that smoke fades, he'll be very exposed. So he needs to either tuck himself on the right-hand side and get some support, go for a bit of a crossfire, or he needs to fall back towards that B bomb site. A lot of early pressure applied, but no gunfights taken just yet. It's all just the utility, the positioning. Zyphon is in such a powerful spot, but Torzi reads him like a book.
Man advantage for mouz. Will they be able to maintain it? As the fake onto A comes through. Oh, Shui realizes it's a fake, though. Zuxi starts shifting out. They see Shui. Oh, they do. There's the kill. That should secure the site, and now things get bad. Roy on Xerxes has JDC to trade, which does keep it into a 3-on-3. But Roy, he's proven to be a really effective flanker these last couple of rounds. And as Jabby shots down Torzi, Shane now comes in through this position of a main, spotted by Jabby. This shot means that he's in a lot of trouble if he dies here. The nade, it should deter Jabby, and while it pushes him out of position, it doesn't stop him necessarily. Zuxi shuts down JDC. It's all onto Shane, caught out by Jabby. And like that, the Flames, they go 15-10 up. With no money on mouz, this could be the end of the game.
It actually could be. It could be the end. This has been a very long series and a very contentious series between these two sides, and it really is a shame to see mouz go. If they can't take these next 5 on the trot, which, bear in mind, they've got 3 MP9s in hand right now, it is going to be a really difficult one for them to do. Do we see it, though, Kremer?
I doubt it. I really doubt it at the moment, as Util is deployed in B. Ready for the follow-up from Hooksy. He's a volley through the door. Let's keep him back, and it's a lot of damage to mouz. That Roy for 1, Roy for 2. That molly was perfect by Hooksy there. And as Torzi, he now has to aggress to make up for it. And as he's good for 1, the smoke means he's able to get away. But there's still a man down. And as he just turns his attention back to mid, Jabby, he now comes up on a bit of a flank 2-way. Shane, forwarded angle. Well, he should be good for 1. Question is, will he be able to be good for 2? And Zyphon really shifted past him. So you have the time as Jabby sees him, and he swings out. He's good for 1, as you mentioned before. There's that second. It goes into the 3-on-2 now, looking quite dire for these members in the defense. And, well, for them, follow-up comes through. There's Hooksy onto Torzi. It's all onto Shui, alone in a 1 versus 3 as he runs out. Unfortunately, this may be the end for him. Tries to take an engagement. Hasn't been able to fight it yet. As that bomb gets ready to go down. Josh, unfortunately, I think we know who it is who's going to be progressing to our next round of playoffs. So we know he's going to be playing against Sinners in what must be a very, very close game. This has been an incredible series. And for Shui, that execution will be the decider. Copenhagen Flames, having lost the first map on Mirage, have been able to come back on Vertigo and subsequently Ancient, taking the series 2-1, rising up and delivering for their side. An incredible performance, and what a way to say goodbye to mouz NXT. They came into this tournament as a brand new team. They've only lost 2 series since their conception, and well, this has been a bloody close one. An extremely good job from them, and commiserations to them, as they will probably be joining us for any other tournament that comes on, because they have absolutely earned their own votes.
Yeah, I mean, 100%. They've been fantastic. Massive, massive commendation to them. This has been a good result for them. Honestly, I think based on the fact that they went 3-1 in the main stage, they had some incredible wins. They beat Entropic and whatnot. I think they were hoping to maybe go a little bit further, but this is a result. For a new roster, first tournament, to make it out of the Swiss stage against some really fierce opponents, to take Copenhagen Flames the distance and make it to the playoffs, it's impressive stuff. These guys should be pretty pleased with themselves. mouz should be pretty pleased with themselves. I think these guys are one of the first sides, as you say, since Gambit and their acquisition of Gambit youngsters. These guys have kind of been one of the first organizations to actually pick up an academy roster and then be really good from the get-go. I'm really excited to see the future of these guys. I think that they've got a very, very bright one ahead. They could definitely jump themselves into a top 30 team in the next few months. And actually, I really do expect them to get there. But that wraps up our series for the day. And that's all we're covering today, I think, Kremer.
Yeah, that's all from us. We're going to be handing you over to 2 casters who are frankly way better than us. You can look forward to that, of course. We'll be on the same channel in about 5. Actually, we're about 5-10 minutes before this next series. Of course, I've been your caster Kremer 3. I've been joined by the wonderful MJ. Of course, exclamation mark casters in the chat will bring you our Twitters if you want to go follow us.
And just below us as well.
Just below us as well. Now they're everywhere. Of course, we've had our wonderful producer of Gefilter Fish, our admin of In and Outs, and of course our observer of Chev. Of course, give them all the love they deserve as well. With that, though, goodbye for now. We'll see you at the same time tomorrow, but the broadcast will continue. Once again, the next half will be in about 5-10 minutes. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back soon.